Let's go. I am fired up. What a night at the Rock. Wow. Damn, does it. Oh, we got echoes again. Hold on. I got the echo situation. Why does this happen? Hold on. I got the echo. This is so annoying. Why does this happen? Hold on. I got the echo. This is so annoying. Bear with me one moment. Old man technical difficulties. Hold on. This is so annoying. Bear with me one moment. Old man technical difficulties. Hold on. This is so annoying. Bear with. What a night. What a night.
And how about those Devils?
What was that?
And how about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And guys, I am mentally and physically exhausted. I just walked in the door moments ago from the game. What a beautiful game it was. But before we get into all the things, I must ask, I must know.
Are you not entertained?
I don't know if you heard me. Did you guys hear me? I don't think you did. I said,
are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? The New Jersey Devils back at the Rock. Winners of 2 consecutive games, looking to make it 3 in a row. And your New Jersey Devils went into the Rock tonight against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers and came out with a massive, unbelievably massive 3-2 victory. And wow, 3 straight, ladies and gentlemen. Not 1, not 2. That is 3 straight for your New Jersey Devils. I am elated. I am jacked up beyond belief. Oh, shit. I lost my phone. Wow. Bear with me. I need my notes. 1 second. Be right back. 1 second. I think I left my phone in the car. I'll have to try to remember my notes. But obviously, guys, win or lose, we booze. And this is victory vodka right here. Dirty Devil vodka. The official vodka of the great Martin brother. I'm going to do a little bottle shot. Cheers to all you. Cheers to all of you. Win or lose, we booze. A massive New Jersey Devils victory tonight. 3 in a row. And wow. What an unbelievable game to be at. This was very much like a playoff game. Very much felt like a playoff game. Very tight, back and forth. Not a ton of. I mean, the Devils had chances, but wow. Let me just settle down here. I'm all disheveled. I was doing a little bit of drag racing on the way back here, getting out of the lot, getting out of Newark. It was fun, but scoreless first period. Edmonton with 8 shots in the first. Devils with 5. It was a little dejected. I was a little dejected early on in the game. I was like, ooh, this offense seems to be struggling to get anything going. They in and out kind of throughout the game. There was stretches where we didn't look great and weren't generating chances. They came to life a little bit later in the game, but scoreless first period, 0-0 after 1. We get to the second period, and at 3:58, Brett Pesce sneaks in there and gets one, his 3rd of the season, giving the Devils the 1-0 lead, assisted from Eric Halla and Jesperbratt. And at that point, I was like, we need another one. We need another one. 1-0 is not comfortable. I guess I should rewind a second. Before the game, we see Jake Allen's going to get the start, and Shimo Nemitz is in. Chalowski is out. So minor lineup changes. Nemitz finally back in. Jake Allen gets a start. Okay, so we're 0-0 after one. We go to the second. Pesce opens up the scoring, makes it 1-0. And then at 10:05, Draisaitl gets his 47th to tie it up at 1 for McDavid and Kulak. That line was, every time they were out there, it seemed like it was a power play. I mean, there was multiple shifts where I wanted to vomit. They were just getting sustained pressure, getting chances, and props to Jake Allen. He got the second star of the game tonight. I do think you could have made the argument for him to get the first star. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but wow, what a performance from Jake Allen. And after 2 periods of play, the Devils and Oilers knotted up at 1, and I was like, this is going to be a battle. Pretty much was the whole game. Devils embracing playoff hockey, like we said. We get to the third period, and at 4:18, Bouchard gets one, his 13th of the season from Wallman and McDavid, gives the Oilers the 2-1 lead. And at that point, I'm not going to lie, I thought the game was over. I was like, the way this game is playing, I didn't think there was any chance of the Devils going down and then coming back. But I got a text from my buddy Brian. Shout out to my buddy Brian, hooked me up with the tickets. Wasn't planning on going to this one. I was going to watch from my couch. Brian hooked me up once again, so thank you very much, Brian. And Brian actually texted me after 2 periods, and he was like, I think whoever scores next is going to win. And I was like, yeah, bold prediction, but I agree. It seemed like, one more goal was going to be all you needed to win the game. Bouchard gets the second one for the Oilers. They take the 2-1 lead, and I was a little dejected. I was like, it's it. We're going to lose 2-1 or maybe 3-1 with the empty net. I just didn't have a lot of confidence at that point. It just seemed like, again, one of those tight games that they're going to have to embrace down the stretch here. Oilers take the 2-1 lead, and then I'm not sure. I'd have to check my phone again. It's in the car. I'll have a vlog for this game probably coming out tomorrow afternoon. But once again, we get to the dessert race. Devils down 2-1, the dessert race, the big dessert race. Everyone was in a hoopla and a frenzy. The Mrs. Fields cookie finally got on the board the last game and got the first win of the season. Mrs. Fields was just over on the season, just couldn't get a win. The Fields cookie gets a win. The Devils go on and win. So now Devils down 2-1, and we go back to the dessert race once again. And Mrs. Fields now goes back-to-back. Fields wins again. The place goes crazy. There's a guy in a cookie costume jumping up and down. They kept showing him on the scoreboard. So the arena gets a nice little pop with another Mrs. Fields win. Devils down 2-1. Fields wins the race. Everyone's feeling good. And a little while later, I'm not sure exactly how much, but not much longer after the cookie wins the race, Devils moving it around, and Bratter just slings one from up top with a lot of traffic. And at 6:50, Jesperbratt gets his 19th from Pesce and timomeier, tying it up at 2.
Jesperbratt, tit-a-tat, where my boy at?
Where my boy at? Jesperbratt stepping up, big-time player, stepping up in big-time moments. Ties the game up at 2, and now the arena is starting to buzz. We got a Fields cookie win back-to-back. Bratter ties the game up at 2, and the arena started to come to life. Devils, pretty gritty game for them overall. Racing to lose pucks. It was just one of those gritty games, even though the Devils were outplayed, I feel like, by a good margin for most of the game. I mean, the ozone time, I can't even pull it up easily here, but the Oilers seem to be living in their ozone for stretches of the game, especially with that McDavid and Draisaitl line out there. But game tied at 2, and about a minute and a half after Bratter gets one, Shimo Nemitz, the turmoil defenseman, the young man from Slovakia, just uncorks a bomb at 8:25, gives the Devils the 3-2 lead, assisted by Bratt and nicohischier, and that's all she wrote. Devils win 3-2. Shimo Nemitz with the game-winning goal. I can't say I had that on my bingo card, but love to see it. What a shot of just pure adrenaline and confidence for the young man, Shimo Nemitz, with the huge game winner. We'll do the game stats. Wow, Devils 22 shots on goal, Oilers with 33. Face-offs very close. Devils 49.1%, Oilers 50.9%. Devils 0 for 3 on the power play. It was problematic. It looked like shit. And I thought it was going to come back to bite us. I did think, we were going to lose the game, a close one, and you look back and say, wow, the power play really killed us. Fortunately for the Devils, they overcame the horrible power plays 0 for 3. And I did think that Luke Hughes had one of his worst games in a while. I don't know if he's injured or what was up, but Luke did not look good tonight. Oilers 0 for 1 on the power play. Devils with 13 hits. Oilers with 20 hits. Devils 11 block shots. Oilers with 16 block shots. Devils with 14 giveaways. The Oilers with 16 giveaways. Devils with 3 takeaways. And the Oilers with 4 takeaways. And what a massive win for the New Jersey Devils. An absolutely massive win. 3 in a row. They will go for the elusive, the oh-so-elusive 4 in a row Saturday afternoon in Pittsburgh. Got to feel good about our chances on this one. The Devils have not won 4 consecutive games now in 2 years and 2 months. So you're talking 26 months ago was the last time the New Jersey Devils were able to win 4 games in a row. And they've had, I think, in that time span, maybe like 8 to 10 attempts or so where they've won 3 in a row and always fail on the 4th. They got to get it done in Pittsburgh. And they've had a pretty good record against the Penguins as of late. Got to like our chances. Finally looking to get that 4 in a row. And what better time than in a crucial playoff stretch, leading into the playoffs. Blue Jackets, out-of-town scoreboard. Blue Jackets lost tonight 4-0. Got to love that. Damn it, the Rangers won an OT. I just saw that now. But great to see the Blue Jackets lose. And we take a little gander at the standings. New Jersey Devils, 78 points. The Blue Jackets have 70 with 2 games in hand. So even if they won both of their games in hand, we still have a 4-point lead there. And then the Rangers also have 70 points with 66 games. So if they won their 1 game in hand, we would still have a 6-point lead on them. But I still want to see them just lose and just completely fall out of it. Because, I don't even want the Rangers to make the wild card. Forget, first and foremost, I'm worried about our 3rd spot in the Metro. Just want to see the Jackets and Rangers continue to lose. I would love to see the Devils hold on to that 3rd spot and see the playoff, the wild card spots go to Ottawa and either Montreal or Detroit. I don't really have a preference. I just would love to see the Rangers miss. But what a game. Gutsy victory for this Devils club. Finding a way to embrace playoff hockey. This is the post-Jack Hughes era at the moment. And dare I say, the last couple games, should we pour one out? Pour one out. Is this? I'm gonna declare this the official funeral for Instagram hockey. I think Instagram hockey is officially died as of tonight, and this New Jersey Devils club is embracing a dump and chase, just get it done, playoff hockey team. We're not seeing all the finesse and all the stuff that we've seen before. A lot of you have mentioned it. Seems like people try to, they kind of stand around and wait for Jack to do something or maybe force pucks to him. And this team looks like a very different team without him in the lineup. Guys are stepping up. Just looks like more of a cohesive team unit. And wow, 3 wins in a row, going for 4. What a win over a great Edmonton team. And they went down in the 3rd period. I mean, tied going to the 3rd. They give up the go-ahead goal, and then they claw back, tie it, and get the game winner. And maybe there's something to this Mrs. Fields cookie thing. I've gotten some flack for not embracing it. I thought it was kind of stupid. But now I look at this, and I'm like, you know what? There might be something to this here. But wow, guys, what a game to be at. The Rock was jumping. Like I said, I will be putting out a vlog for this game, probably tomorrow afternoon. Wow. Going to get to some comments now. I just got to scroll down here. What a win. I am fired up. 3 in a row. Unhinged Devs fan fits his secret weapon, the cookie. It could be. Maybe it was the cookie. Devin G, how about those Devils? My buddy Goody, they taste better when we win. Yes, they do. Let's go Devils. Cheers to all of you. Unhinged Devs fan said he is entertained. Woodson thinks he's a comedian, says, I can't believe we were winning without McDermott. Alex, I think I answered in the chat. Nope, my buddy hooked me up with tickets. I did not pay. Michael S., hit the like. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. Mrs. Fields, very well, maybe the GOAT. Walt is also entertained. 3 straight. Prezify, thank you for the super chat, sir. Hit a 455 bench press. I don't know what PR is today, and got a Devils win versus a very, very good Oilers team. Very happy. We need a Mrs. Fields shrine. Wow, man. Thanks for the super chat, and congrats on the bench press. Holy shit. That's a lot of weight. I'm not much of a weightlifter, but I know for a fact I couldn't even bench press a fraction of that. Your boy Ace is I'm a lower body guy. You want to do leg press and squats? I'll surprise a bunch of people out there. It's all in the lower body for me, but 455 bench, man. Congrats to you. That's pretty insane. And thank you for the super. Wow. What a game. Woodson says he'd be entertained if we make the Eastern Conference Finals. Wow. Zachary Davis, absolute grinder. That's New Jersey style hockey, in my opinion. Yeah, this is old school Devils hockey, guys. What a win. Finding new ways to score goals, generate offense. Little pieces of heavier, edgier, more violent, I would say. Nicole, what's going on? You and Ace going to games is good luck and the cookie winning. Yeah, I didn't want to tell my buddy Brian, but, he hooked me up. Very, very thankful for him. Hooked me up with his tickets the last 2 games, and now that the Devils have won these 2 games, I think he might have to just give me all of his tickets for the rest of the year. I mean, 2-0. 2-0, magical. Chris did miss Big Mac tonight. Need to get more fighting happening with playoffs approaching. I don't think we're going to see it, unfortunately. I don't think we're going to see McDermott for the rest of the season. But you know what? As long as we're winning, I have nothing to complain about. I would like a little more of the tough stuff, but in the end, any way you win it, just win it. Just win. Woodson says Nemit's goal was thanks to the Nico screen, but he did look better. Listen, we got to start screening. Get traffic in front. Teams do it to us. I feel like we must lead the league, or damn near lead the league in shots allowed from the point, because you can't touch guys anymore. Although I think guys can at least try a little bit. Back in the day, if you parked in front of the goal, a defenseman, and let's just say you're doing it to the Devils and you tried to get in front of Marty, Dano, Stevens, Whitey, whoever it was, they're hacking the back of your legs. You're getting cross-checked in the back. You're getting shoved. Now they call everything, and guys could just park up right there in the crease pretty much with no sort of diversion. You can just stand there and bake a cake. It's kind of crazy, but yeah, Devils got to start utilizing those screens in front way more. Teams have done it effectively to the Devils all season long, and it's about time we start doing it. Furthermore, would love to see us start getting some nice tips and deflections and stuff in front. Teams have beat us with a lot of shots from the point on tips and deflections as well. Olivier got a nice tip in front last game to beat Markstrom, and I feel like we've been beaten by those kinds of plays all year. Hopefully the Devils could do it. I think Glass, there was one chance where Glass was in front with his screen and he had a chance at a tip and he missed. But I'm wondering, a guy's going to, Cody Glass came back to life, right? I'm not flamed from all you people. Ryder, I'd rather Fitz go through the deadline a second time than watch Curtis play hockey. Come on, man. Hit the like button. Husky under 10 minutes tonight for Nemitz. Yeah, when I was at the game, I was talking to my buddy and I was like, Nemitz is not playing a whole lot at all. Keefe likes to protect the young guys, whether it's him or Casey. When they're in the lineup, he really does, use them situationally and tries to keep them out of harm's way. What did Nemitz finish with tonight? Let's take a look. Nemitz finished with 9:58. Wow, yeah, some big minutes for Pesci and Luke. Pesci, 23:59. Luke, 23:15. Johnny Kovacevic, 21:30. Brendan Dillon, 18:57. Brian Dumoulin, 16:55. Leading the way for the forwards, Bratter with 20 minutes, 59 seconds. And Timo right behind him with 20:24. Oh, and I missed. Sorry, they're second and third. Number 1, the captain, nicohischier with 23:12. What a monster. What a game, guys. John Face says, indeed, it did feel very intense and like a playoff game, Ace. Yeah, it really did. Chico Allen stole this one. I don't feel like the Devils played poorly, but it felt like a lot of hanging on by the Devils. Absolutely. They were outplayed by the Oilers, but you have to be able to win games where you look and say, the Devils weren't the better team tonight, but they capitalized on their chances more so than the other team and got a dub. And Allen stood tall in there. Lots of great saves for Allen. And deservedly so. He got the second star of the game. 31 saves on 33 shots for Jake Allen. What a game. Jordan says, honestly, at least one of those goals Allen should have blocked, but it's all good. Woodson Oilers, for the most part, outplayed us, but could go either way when you play muck-it-up hockey like we are forced to play. Yeah, this is a new look, new identity, New Jersey Devils. Unbelievable. I do think, and the 3 stars of the game where the third star was Pesci, the second star was Jake Allen, the first star was Shimo Nemitz. And if I'm being honest, the first star was Jesper Bratt, I meant. I don't know how Nemitz didn't get a star of the game. The game-winning goal, he doesn't even get a star. I mean, I like Pesci, but I feel like Nemitz had to get the third star of the game at minimum. Game-winning goal, and he gets nothing? I was a little surprised by that. I thought for sure he would definitely have gotten one of the stars. BC couldn't catch the game, but psyched that we won. Great to see Nemitz get on the scoreboard. Yeah, with the game winner. Bratter, yep, first 3 points. Chris, muck it up hockey wins. That's what you should want to do every single game. Yeah, and hopefully they just keep embracing this type of hockey and just keep winning. Win, baby, win. 3 in a row, going for the 4 in a row. I'm on a euphoric high. Paulie Walnuts, glass plus cookies equals wins. Who the hell would have ever saw that one coming? Certainly not me. John Face is the Brat Man. Acura. Ace, you may have said that you won't continue videos as often, but please continue consistent content. Yeah, thanks, man. It's going to get dialed back for sure, I think, but I'll always do something in some capacity. But thank you. I appreciate that. Garrett, Ace, time for a video on Mrs. Fields' gritty win. Love to see the heavy traffic in front of the net. Yeah. Get bodies in front, screen that goalie, and good things happen. I think 2 goals came off of solid screens tonight. John Woodson didn't think Bratt would live up to the contract with the little guys balling. Yeah, Bratter, our most consistent and, in my opinion, best offensive threat for the past few seasons. Plays 82 games and nearly a point a game guy for the past few years. BC, can we actually see this team get beyond Carolina in the playoffs? I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. And last night or sometime recently, all the days are bleeding together. But I do think this team has a chance to finally get some revenge on the Hurricanes, who've owned us for so long. BC said, yeah, I was calling for Fitz's head, but glad to see it working out with Glass. He fits on the team well. He does, but that still does not exonerate Fitz for the poor deadline. Had he gotten, an O'Reilly, a McCann, something of that nature with Glass as like the second piece, I would have applauded the deadline day. But to have Glass, regardless of how well he plays, as your headline kind of acquisition on deadline day is a failure. I'm sorry, guys. For those that don't agree, you're just, in denial. Kyle says Nemo haters pipe down. Chico, Jack Hughes and the Devils remind me of Messi in Argentina. When Messi's on the field, it's like he's the only one trying. When he's out, the rest of the team thinks, oh, shit, we got to try now. A's hates all my names. Don't get it, but was I the only one that heard what sounded like artificial crowd noises after Edmonton scored? I get that fans are everywhere, but on TV it sounded bad. 4 in a row coming. Let's go Devils. I mean, there was quite a lot of Edmonton fans there, so I haven't seen the broadcast yet. Obviously, I literally raced out of a very congested parking lot in a very congested Newark, did my best, gone in 60 seconds impression on the highway, got home, literally ran in, flipped on all the equipment, and here I am. So I haven't seen anything, but it was pretty loud in person. I can tell you that. I don't think they would do artificial noise, but it was a TNT game? It wasn't on MSG, so I don't know. Maybe there was something to that. Collect Records, thank you very much for the super, sir. Shout to my English bulldog named Cookie who passed last week. She's looking down on Mrs. Fields, the boy and the cookie. Let's go Devils. Oh, man, I'm so sorry to hear that, Collect Records. Hopefully your grieving process is going as good as it can. I know how much it sucks to lose a pet. I haven't had one in a while, but I did have a cat that we had to put down years ago. It was very depressing. So hopefully, you're staying strong in this time. And maybe Cookie is looking down on us. Cookie and the Mrs. Fields Cookie are going to take us on a magical run. The 24-25 New Jersey Devils. Why not us? And it starts with getting this 4th consecutive win in Pittsburgh Saturday for the 4 consecutive wins for the first time in 26 months. To not win 4 games in a row in 26 months with the lineup we have is truly unfathomable. Unthinkable. But thank you very much, Collect Records. Hope you're doing well. And Cookie and the Mrs. Fields Cookie, we're going to go on a run here. Unhinged Devs fan, I was skeptical with Nemitz in the lineup, but I consider him redeemed now. I'm not going to consider him redeemed, but that's a massive game-winning goal for sure. I mean, biggest win of the Devils season, obviously. I don't need to tell you guys that, and you guys make fun of me because every game going forward now, there is going to be a period. This third period was the third period of the season. The win was the win of the season. And, yeah, wow, what a game. Benjamin says, Luke sucked, Mr. Turnover. John Woodson, Luke got crunched last game. Wouldn't be surprised if he's injured. So I think I forgot to mention this at the last game. I don't know if it was on camera or not. Obviously, I was at the game. Luke got smashed by Olivier, behind the net. And he was like, you could tell he was like struggling a little bit. And maybe there is something lingering. But yeah, Olivier got him good, crushed him good. And he definitely looked like he was hurt a little bit afterwards. Ben Jamin says, trade both Hughes for one Kachuk. John Woodson, easy game against the Pens. Hopefully. Diva says, Nico won this game, took the hit at the blue line from Draisaitl, then made a huge block in the dying seconds to end it off. Oh, Captain. Love me some Nico. Chico says, I wouldn't call it a must-win in the traditional sense, but they're better than the Pens. They're trying to get going without Jack. They have teams hot on their heels. You got to get the dub. I agree. Husky Unchained, hate seeing our D-men double shifted to keep Nemitz off the ice. Yeah, it is unfortunate. Keith likes his vets, as does Fitzy. And so, whenever one of those young guys in the lineup, they're not going to see a ton of ice. James Israel, Ace, Ottawa's a serious problem. When they went out and made serious moves, that team is solid. That's the team I'm worried about. Yeah, I mean, that's Staios, the GM in Ottawa, is a guy trying to give the fans something to excited about, trying to make the playoffs, trying to make his team as good as possible for the push, and obviously trying to keep Brady Tkachuk happy, so he wants to stay there. And what a deadline they had. Cousins and Zetterlund. I mean, what a deadline that is for the Sens. They're definitely going to be a tough out, I believe. And especially because they're going to have to be hot down the stretch like the Devils. And that's another reason why I do believe this Devils team can surprise people, is because they're going to have to play playoff hockey down the stretch here, warfare type hockey, and they're going to have to be on somewhat of a roll. I got flamed when I did that roundtable the other day. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I did a roundtable with Trey Matthews of Locked On Devils, Sam Wu of Let's Go Devils Podcast, and Daniel Amoya of the Hockey Writers. And one of the questions I posed to everybody was, and at that point we had 17 games left, give your prediction for what the Devils do in the next 17 games. And I even said it might be delusionally optimistic, but I said 10-5-2. The Devils will go down the stretch. And so far the boys are 2-0. I mean, let's go. Let's go. Make your boy a profit. And I would love to be even better than 10-5-2, but that was my pick. Yo, Holmes says, why not us? Absolutely, man. You got to believe this team is looking like a brand new team in the, since they've had to rally with Jack being out. B, I hope for a big for a top six center to make Jack a left wing. People have talked about this a lot. I don't know the likelihood of that, and I don't know how effective Jack will be on the wing. Obviously, the Four Nations is not the greatest kind of barometer for that. He did play wing in the Four Nations, and as I told people, a lot of people, I think, expected Jack to go crazy in Four Nations. And in the end, that was playoff warfare hockey, which is kind of not Jack's cup of tea, against the best players in the world. And so a lot of people were super down on him afterwards, but I understand. I mean, that was the highest level of hockey he's ever played in. That basically was Olympic hockey, the highest level of hockey there is. Olympic hockey, where you have pretty much every player on the team is an NHL all-star. And I don't know how much of his, I'm not going to say struggling, but how much he kind of looked mediocre out there, if I'm being honest. He did have stretches where he looked good on the power play and stuff, where he was setting guys up and they couldn't finish. But either way, I don't know how much of that was because he was at wing or how much was just the level of competition. But I don't think Jack wants to play wing. I'm sure, it might be revisited at some point, depending on what players are brought in at what point. And it is an interesting thing to think about. But I do think on the wing, he might, take more abuse. I think playing center allows him to kind of evade some of the contact he might not be able to avoid if he plays the wing. Benjamin, take whatever we can, get the cookie included. M. Sharp, unreal how many Oiler fans were there. Yeah, I told my buddy that when we were walking in. He was shocked because even outside the arena, we stopped by a bar. Even walking around outside the arena, there was tons of Oilers jerseys. And I said, listen, they're a huge market team. And just like in other sports, superstar players draw fans. That superstars sell jerseys and they sell tickets. I said, in the NBA, you go to any game LeBron James is playing in, you're going to see, no matter what NBA city you're in, you're going to see 1 million Lakers and LeBron jerseys. And the same thing with Steph Curry. No matter what city you're in, you're going to see it. During the Yankees' heyday, if you went to any Major League Baseball park in the league, when the Yankees were in town, you were going to see a shitload of Jeter jerseys. And that, McDavid is that equivalent for hockey. Anytime you go see an Oilers game, no matter where it is in the league, you're going to see a ton of Oilers and McDavid jerseys. That's just part of it. Embrace the cookie, 3 in a row. Alex says, I can only do 160. I'm assuming he's talking about bench. Resting Guitar Face. Ace, you said you wouldn't get a name jersey for current players since they're young comparatively. What about a Fields jersey? C for cookie. No, I would never do that either. But somebody on X, I believe, had mock-ups of they were going to get a jersey that says Mrs. Fields on it. And I think they were trying to take a poll what number they should put, but they already had the mock-ups of the black alternate jersey with the Mrs. Fields, on the back. Chico says Ace is a lower body guy. It's true he could knock a brick wall down just by twerking. I'm not doing any twerking, but I'm definitely a lower body guy. BM Ace, have you ever hung out with Frank the Tank Fleming from Barstool? Have you ever seen him losing his shit in person? I have not. I've seen some clips, but I've never met him or spoke to him in person. But I've passed him in the arena at different points. Wrestling Guitar Face, hit the like for your boy. Come on now. Jim Bean, huge win. I completely agree with you, Ace. This team seems to move the puck better without Jack, and there's a noticeable cohesiveness, added grit. Yeah, they can't play the listen, guys, tonight I'm declaring it. Tonight was the death of Instagram hockey. It's officially over. This is a playoff warfare hockey team. Old school New Jersey Devils hockey is back. Instagram hockey is out. And so far, so good. I mean, wow, 3 consecutive wins now. Nico had a huge block in the dying seconds of the game, but I can't wait for the Doomers to tell me he's not a real captain again. B says Durham will get the Rags game. I'm not really convinced of that either. Jeter Toker just getting home now. Fun. I'm assuming you went to the game. Well, random complaint. I hate how loosely interference gets called. That call on Hall for his pick after a drop pass is weak sauce. In my opinion, that should never be a penalty for picking off a player like that. Yeah, it does seem like if they wanted to, they could call interference a lot throughout a game. They call it situationally. It is what it is. Pretty weak call, though, for sure. Yeah, barely touched the guy, let alone check him hard enough to warrant a call. Woodson says Fitz gave away a second rounder for a third pair D-man. Jack McCabe, Ace, game 1 postseason tomorrow. Who starts, Markey or Allen? It's funny. My buddy that I went to the game with on the way back, he was like, is there a goalie controversy? And I said, I don't think so. And I'm not sure what led to the decision to go with Allen. I do want to see heavy dose of Markey down the stretch. I do want to see a heavy dose of Markey down the stretch, but maybe he's still, kind of nursing something from the injury. I don't know. But, if we had to go to Allen in the playoffs, I have full confidence in him. He's played amazing all year long, in my opinion. The Devils stranded him on many nights with no goal support, and his numbers should be much better than they are. But, I mean, a lot of people have hated on Jake Allen randomly throughout the season, and I don't know why. I've defended him from day one. He's been stellar in his starts. Prezify, another super. Thank you, sir. Remember Jordan Tutu? Of course I do. Heavier, edgier, more violent guy. He randomly popped in my head for some reason. He wasn't the most skilled, but I loved him. Thanks for the super, sir. Yeah, Tutu is another gritty dude. I enjoyed his time here. He, like many other guys, played on a bad Devils team. What year was that? Let me see. Very bad Devils team he was here for. But a very exciting guy. Scrappy, would not hesitate to chuck him. Oh, why does this page do this? Yeah, 14, 15, and 15, 16. Love me some Tutu. All right, I'm trying to find my spot here. Josh Release says, I'm starting to believe. Trevor, what a game. I was glued to the TV like this was a playoff game. We're in the pre-playoffs, guys. I said it from a while ago. This is the pre-playoffs now. Every game is monumental. This team has some heart. What a game. Jesperbratt, baby. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. M. Sharp Allen looked great tonight. He definitely did. Samuel, when you live and die with the rush screen, screens don't exist. Glad that's not the entire offense finally. Yeah. This team is forced to embrace a new style of hockey, and they're able to do it effectively when they stick to the script. You love to see it. Dumping and chasing. Like, who is this team? Firing pucks in and getting after it? Oh, man. Brought a tear to my eye. Alex, dirty goals, Ace, traffic in front of the net. Looks like they're embracing some ugly hockey after the injuries. Yeah, and it'd be psychotic not to. Without Jack, they are forced to shift the game plan to plan B. Muck it up and grind them out. And they have the personnel to do it, and I believe they've showed it. Michael Russell, 261 watching with 41 likes. Damn, that's weak. Hit that smash button. Come on, man. I can't see the stats, but that's pretty sad. Krung says SST YouTube is about to IP ban. No, I just banned him again. I'm done with him. I'm not going to waste energy on him anymore. The most negative, miserable person I've ever met. It's a shame. He's the only person I've ever banned, and hopefully the only person I ever have to ban. Just so negative and so annoying. I cannot let him zap my energy, and I just banned him again. I think he's had 3 names now. They're all banned. And when he makes another one, I'll ban that one too. Hopefully he just gives it up and goes away. No one wants to deal with it. SJ and Brad are as tough as nails. He shakes defenders off despite being smaller. Yeah, and he stays upright when he gets hit. You love to see it. Salvatore, someone brought this up last live. What do you think about bringing back 1 to 8 playoff seeding? Playing the same team over and over and over is boring and reeks of forced division rivalry. Absolutely. I hated it when they announced the change, and I still hate it. I think it's stupid. You see the same matchups over and over again. Like, we don't need manufactured rivalries. Give us 1 through 8. 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. You could kind of forecast your path to the to the conference finals, the cup, whatever it is. 1 to 8 is so much better. I don't think I've ever met one person who likes the I don't think I've met one person who likes the current format better. I think it's terrible. Yo, Holmes, random note, Catherine Bogart is done with the Devils. Today was her last day, moving on to the Utah Hockey Club. So I saw her post on X earlier today that today was her last day, but I didn't, at that point, I don't think she had mentioned where she was going yet. Yeah, good for her. Putz Monkey says, Mrs. Fields, the Devils is like Grimace for the Mets. Deep playoff run coming. I would certainly love to, hopefully that it is. I don't follow baseball, but I know about the legend of Grimace, and maybe the cookie is our version. John Fay says, do we have news on who's going to replace her? No way this win was bigger than the BJs the other night. That win was critical. I guess. I mean, because it's head-to-head. Yeah, I could see that. All right, so this is the second biggest win. And even bigger because Columbus lost. Ryan Demand, Markey recently came back from an injury. Now people are hating on him because he's not playing the way he was before the injury. Give the guy a chance. He's working his way back in from the injury. That I certainly hope. I certainly hope that's the case. Noah says, what's the percentage you make the playoffs after this win? I'm feeling pretty dang good. I'd have to imagine, I don't know how these people find this. It's probably over 90% now, even though it doesn't feel like that to me still. But I'm sure, yeah, okay, it's over 95%. I mean, wow. I'm not buying that whatsoever, but I'm glad that that's what they're saying. Zach, you got to admit the power play was awful tonight. Absolutely terrible. Terrible. Yo Home says, of course, working in the NHL in Utah is like a dream come true. Trevor says, Devils are shutting the Pens down for their first 4-game heater of the season. Hopefully. That'd be amazing. Completely amazing. John Fay, right, Ace, I'm going to go. But my voice is shot after all that yelling at the Rock. What a great and big win and 2 points. Let's go Devils. It certainly was, John. What a game. Joe Mama says, I want a Bratt jersey so bad. So order one. Buy that thing. Luke, worked late. There was over 50 Oilers fans on the one train car coming out of New York Penn. Saw a bunch more in Newark. They came in force. They really did. They absolutely did. Michael Russell, Ace, no Nico jersey, home red with the C. Are you talking about for me? I've given a dissertation on my viewpoint with jerseys that I wear. And I will say, myself and my buddy who went to tonight, he went to the last game with me as well, and I was already going to do this anyway. This was the great Martin Bro, Jared, guys. I mean, this is a jersey I've been rocking primarily for years, but for some reason, I felt like switching it up. This season, a couple games, I wore my black practice jersey for whatever reason. I like that jersey a lot. And I wore that to the Jets game that they got smashed. So before the my mind is shot right now. Before the Blue Jackets game, I switched back to Marty, and they won. So my buddy texted me, and he was like, you got to wear all the same stuff you wore the other night. And I was like, obviously. What do you think? I'm new to this? So the great Martin came back out. Same T-shirt underneath, same hat, same everything. Another win. Another win. I'm trying to get more current here because I'm behind. Samuel, tons of Oilers fans because they spend a few days and see their team 3 times. Devils, Rags, Islanders. Yeah, it's a nice trip for them. Pretty easy travel as well. Trevor, after the Oilers scored the second goal, it wasn't looking good, but the boys stepped up tonight. Absolutely. I was nervous. After the second goal, I was super nervous because going into the third period, I really did believe that next goal won the game. It seemed like it was going to be one of those games that whoever gets the second goal is going to win it. And luckily for the Devils, despite going down 2-1, they found a way to claw back and win it. What a beautiful win. Luke says Allen is the truth. 100% he is. I totally agree. Woodson, both goalies have virtually the same stats. It's a luxury to have a 1A, 1B going into the playoffs, especially when teams like Carolina has suspect goaltending. Yeah, absolutely. I have full faith in both of them. BC, the only thing that'll suck about making the playoffs is Fitz will be cemented as our GM. I do think that Fitz is the GM, honestly, no matter what. So I would never root not to make the playoffs just for the hopes that he gets canned. I mean, that's crazy. Nicole says the last few seconds of this game were so intense. Thank Nico for his block. What a finish. What a finish. Jeter, couldn't be me getting on a school bus after a 7-hour flight. I'll take an Uber to the game. Okay. Luke says Markstrom needs a strong game versus the Pens. I wonder, I wouldn't be shocked if they went back to Allen. Maybe not. I'm expecting Markstrom, but I wouldn't be shocked if we see Allen again. Jesse just saw an article dug you out for the rest of the season. Yeah, I kind of suspected that. And Fitz was on a podcast yesterday, I believe, where he kind of said, like, there's a good chance Dougie and Siegenthaler are both done, regardless of playoffs, like done. It was kind of weird how it nonchalantly came out like that. But yeah, I do believe, the group that we saw on the ice tonight, or a slight variation, whether it's going to be Cholowski in there or Nemitz or possibly Casey. I think this is the team we have, and I don't think anyone's coming back. And so it's time for the boys to go to war with the group we have in the room right now. Mark, this is not about a win and 2 points. This is about boosting the boys' confidence and proof to themselves they can hang with the big boys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Krung says, I think everyone is universally happier with SST being gone. It was a good move. Keep banning that bum. Yeah, I mean, seems like everyone's in favor. Walt, all he wants is attention, nothing else. This is the last time I'm bothering to mention him. Yeah, I don't want to talk about him either, but I just keep banning him. He's going to keep making names. I'm just going to keep banning him. Eventually, he'll give up. Woodson, muck it up as Keefe style. He probably hated the fire wagon hockey we played all season. Well, then why didn't he try to make them do this earlier? Go Boro, my man. Thank you for the super. Sup, Ace. What devil were you the most glad to see the back of in the whole time you've been a Devils fan? What devil were you the most glad to see the back of in the whole time you've been a Devils fan? Well, thank you for the super chat, sir. And I'm going to need clarification on the question. Most glad to see the back of. I don't know what that means. Go Boro. Can we get some clarifications? All right, I'm going to come back to that. I need to know what you mean, my guy. I'm not necessarily sure what that means. Glad to see the back of. I'll get back down in a minute. Explain to me what you meant by that. The weightlifting lab, Jake, was awesome. Oh, wait, we got a couple the weightlifting lab. Hold on. Weightlifting lab. My man Prezify hit 455 on a bench press. What's up? Can you come near that? Can you touch Prezify's 455 bench press? It's a pretty impressive number. What do you got, weightlifting lab? Let me know. Chowski, Nico and Bratt's puck handling is some of the best in the league. Rarely ever have turnovers. How was the previous format? Are you talking about playoffs or previous format of what? If you're talking about playoffs, back in the day, the division winners would get the top 3 seeds. So you'd automatically, if you won the division, you automatically got the top 3. And then they would seed, it'd be 1 through 8. So 1 would play 8, 2 would play 7, 3 would play 6, and 4 would play 5. And then the highest and lowest remaining seeds would play. It was just highest versus lowest every round. And it was so much better. Wolf Rock, and I still believe that Dawes should be the backup for Markey. He's definitely a big part of the future. I'm a huge Dawes fan, brother. Let's go Devils. I like Dawes too, but it's not his time yet. Not his time. Jack says, certainly give Markey the pick game, but if he lays a stinker, there may be a controversy. I could see that. Joe, Erica Walker coming back. Heard that Amanda Stein had a thing about her. I'd never heard that at all. And I doubt she's coming back. I don't think MSG wanted to pay her, and she does a bunch of other gigs. So I don't know. what that deal is. Stick Figs, what's up? The first 3 win streak of 2025 is the same time as Chick-fil-A rewards. If the Devils score first, they've scored first in all 3 games. Mrs. Fields going back-to-back after going 0 for 29. RJ Connor says, offer still stands, my firstborn for a Bratt Stadium Series jersey. Yo, Holmes, no Stanley Cup patch on that bad boy Marty jersey. I thought about it, but I'm very I don't know, because in the 03 finals, they lost all the road games. So I don't know. I've been meaning actually, I need another jersey like I need a hole in my head, but I've been meaning to get an authentic 03 white one and with the cup patch, Marty. That'll probably be one of the next jerseys I get eventually. But I don't know. I have something weird about, even though we won the 03 Cup, the red jersey was a loser for all 3 games, which were games 3, 4, and 6 of the series. Devils lost all 3 in the red. So I don't know. I feel some type of way about it, personally. Nicole says that jersey's on a winning streak. You can't wash it or wear something different. Oh, I'm certainly not, Nicole. You think I'm a crazy person? This is a victorious jersey right now. This is on a 2-game heater. Jack says, I can't believe SJ traded Zetterlund. Complete shock. I was at first as well, but then a story came out that he was looking for $6 or $6.5 million a year. And so Mike Greer over there was like, we're not paying this kid that much, and we're not going to the playoffs. So at that point, it made perfect sense to trade him. He's like, screw it, get assets for him because he has no future here. I mean, I get why it happened. Richard, resilient and gritty, loved it. Power play is totally disjointed right now. Jack, maybe Ottawa's playing Zets on the 4th line to diminish his production and then sign him cheap in the offseason, then put him in the top 6. That's pretty funny. Joe and Mad Joe, hot take, Cody Glass is the McLeod replacement we were looking for. Oh, take it easy. You're going to call Cody Glass a McLeod replacement? Listen, I think he could be a fine player in the bottom 6. But I don't think there's many people that are replacing McLeod. I'd love to be wrong, but McLeod did everything. He could hit, pass, score. I would love to see him become even anywhere near that level of player in the bottom 6. Woodson says Dougie still had 40 points, was on pace for his 2nd best season. Luke, Markstrom was crushed by Edmonton in his career. Keith making some really good coaching moves. Okay. Stickfigs SST has been banned. What did I miss? Oh, yeah, he was banned several games ago. And then he made a new name and was trying to behave. But then he started talking smack again. And now I'm just banning any name he ever makes. Go Boro. Back of most glad to see leave. So what devil was I most glad to see leave? Oh, that's a hard one. The devil I was most glad to see leave. That's a really tough one. Player I was most glad to see leave. Yeah, that's not an easy one. I don't think I really have one. Let me think about that. I'm going to still think about that. There was never a guy I didn't like. And there's guys you kind of dog on sometimes, but once they're a devil, I kind of, Krungs, he's been banned 3 times now. That's correct. 3 times. 3 times. Michael Russell says personal record. I don't even remember what that was in reference to now. Krung says, oh, yeah, I could bench press a beer in my mouth without spilling all over while laying down. Beat that. I like that. Insane Pollock, he made a 2nd account to get back on. Not sure if he banned the 2nd account. Yeah, I banned a 2nd and 3rd, actually. Yo, Holmes says, can these big bench pressers and weightlifting lab guys please slip Jack Hughes some of their secret supplements? Oh, man, that's great. Devin G, going to the Nico signing at Sports Minded, what should I get him to inscribe on my jersey? For Nico, I don't know. I mean, I only get inscriptions if it's like a super specific item, personally. Is it a Nico jersey you wear, or are you going to be wearing it? Or are you hanging it up? I'm curious. But either way, for stuff like that, unless there's something I only usually like inscriptions if it's on like a specific photo, like an inscription related to the photo, or maybe even like a ticket, maybe an inscription that relates to that specific game. A jersey is a tough one, and I'm trying to think. I mean, there's stuff you could do. What jersey is it? Is it a home road alternate? What's the jersey? Back-to-back 3-point nights for the Brat Pack. Go Boro. I'd like to do a fun playoff run. Winning the cup, I'm not sure, but I'm good to go on a little playoff heater like Seattle did a while ago. 25-26 should be interesting because of Gritsuk and co. Absolutely. No, Amanda and Erica weren't in a relationship. Erica is married to a man and has a daughter. Paulie Walnuts, it's great to see guys stepping up and contributing offensive. Let's be honest, Pesci and Emmets are two of the most unlikely guys to score a big team win. Absolutely. I'm sure if you could bet on either one of them to score, it was probably 12-1 each or something like that. Michael Russell says, have him inscribe, I'll be here after 2 years. I think that's a very iffy thing at the moment. Trevor, anytime Pesci scores, the team celebrates more than usual. I'm thinking he's a locker room favorite. I mean, aside from a locker room favorite, I just think because he doesn't score a ton, when it happens, people are super jacked up for him, as they should be. M. Sharp, I was hoping for Allen to have a shot at an open net at the end for icing on the cake, but it was a madhouse just holding on. Yeah, within a 1-goal game, you're not going to see many goalies do that. 2-goal lead's a different story. BC says 455 is a lot. That's typically powerlifting territory. It certainly sounds like powerlifting territory to me. I'm certainly not a expert in the matter, but I know that's a ton of weight. Nicole, I haven't been to a signing yet, but I was talking to Sports-Minded about it. They said the description was first overall pick. I didn't know you could pick. I'm pretty sure you could. Jack, Ace, I completely hear you with the red jersey from 03 not wanting to put the patch on it. I am the same way. If they didn't win it in that jersey, I don't want it for any error. That's how I am. I'm super, as you all know, I'm a super jersey snob. I am super specific. I'm super detail-oriented. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't need them to have one in the jersey. Like, they didn't win the 2000 Cup at home, but I wouldn't mind rocking a white Devils jersey with a 2000 Cup patch because they at least won a game at home. The 03 finals was very different. The home team won every game, and so we lost all 3 games we played in the red jersey. And for that reason, I don't know. For some reason, it has some stigma to me, and I don't want to put it on. I've thought about it, but in the end, I keep coming back to that same thing. Richard, Ace, off the game topic, but Devils related. I've been a fan since 86, and to this day, most baffling move was Lou firing Claude Julien. Any thoughts, facts on that? Nothing outside of the fact that for whatever reason, Lou thought the team wasn't, playing to their best of their ability, and he had thought that there was something off with the team. And give all the credit in the world to Lou Lamoriello. If he thought there was something not right, he would not hesitate to change it. And I do believe when Julien got fired, the Devils may have even been in first place. Lou did not care. If he thought something was off, 2 shots to the head, he would go and take you out. And Julien was one of the many coaches that got canned, despite the team being pretty good. But he just, saw things he didn't like, and he said, it's time for you to go. Trevor, love me some heavier, edgier, more violent Jesper Bratt. Another big game with 3 points. He needs to be a lifetime Devil. I hope he is. Devin G, I heard that was just the example and you could get anything you wanted, but if that's the case, I'll keep the $30. Now, I'm pretty sure you can do whatever you want. Did you get a ticket? I think they sold out quick, right? Shout out to Emily at Sports-Minded, the best in the business. Been going to signings there for years. I've met tons of players there over the years. Michael, which Devil crushed you when they left? It was Needs for me. I was in tears. Oh, a ton. Guys that left that crushed you? Are you talking about just free agency or trades as well? If you're talking about free agency, Needs was a terrible one. Obviously, when Marty left, that was probably the worst one for me. But Marty, Niedermeyer, Holik and Gomer going to the Rangers was painful. I'm trying to think about other free agents. Go Boro, another super. Thank you, sir. Ace, if you were in a bar fight, name me 3 Devils you're having on Team Ace, and you have to escape by fighting. I like that question. That's a much easier one. Are you talking about all-time Devils, Go Boro, or just current Devils? Current Devils were in trouble. Current Devils, there's guys I know in regular life that I would pick over guys on the team. But do you think, are you talking about current Devils or all-time Devils, Go Boro? And then I could answer that one easily. That's a very easy one for me. All right, I'll be looking for your response, Go Boro. All-time Devils. Okay. So 3 Devils, 3 all-time Devils, and I'm in a bar fight, and I need to escape by getting out. This is a very easy one for me. I am going to go Mike Peluso. Christoph Oliwa. And Cam Jansen. Peluso, Oliwa, and Jansen, we're getting out of that bar. We are walking out of that bar on our own 2 feet each. Ha, Steven, this is fucking amazing. That would be a great inscription. He won't do it. That would be a great inscription to get on a Stadium Series jersey for sure. That would be phenomenal. Back to Michael's question. Yeah, there's a lot. Marty, Niedermeyer, Zach Parise for sure. When Gomer and Holik went to the Rangers, there's been a bunch. Kovalchuk, fake retiring and going to the KHL. That was terrible. Nicole says, I'm not sure, but I'll be there too, so I guess we'll see. Nicole, what are you going to get signed? Noah William Miller. Fitz said he was trying to bring Gritsuk over, right? Yes, that is correct. Do you think there's any substance to that? Yes. He'd be the perfect addition as that much-needed top 6 sniper. Would be even more of a wagon. I can't say for sure that I think he's going to be a top 6 guy right away, but I do think at worst case he's a bottom 6 contributor right away, and I don't think that's not going to be until next season. Would love to see him be an answer in the top 6. I'm just not sold yet. I need to see it. A lot of people believe the hype. He's coming from the KHL. He looked great. Cool. I want to see him do it at the NHL level, but either way, he should be on this team next year. Whether he's in the top 6 or bottom 6 remains to be seen, but he should definitely be in our group of forwards. Jack, Ace, would you personally, not that you think the organization would you trade 1-for-1 Jack Hughes for Tage Thompson? Curious your thought process there. Wow, that's a good one. That's a really tough one. I could go both ways with that, to be honest. I do think Tage Thompson is an absolute stud. And I do think, with his size, he's a point-per-game guy. What did he do last year? Not quite a point-a-game guy. He's a point-a-game guy this year. With his monster frame, I'm just biased to old-school physical hockey because I think it matters. And I think a lot of you are slowly starting to see over the course of the last month or so why I do have that viewpoint, because that is winning hockey. At this stage of the game, I would do that trade just because I fear for Jack's injuries in the future. It's not really an indictment or me thinking that Tage is necessarily better. I think they're both very good in different ways, but I am concerned about Jack's injuries going forward, and for that reason alone, I would do the trade, Jack. Selected boy. The devil that I was glad to see gone was Kyle Quincy. Oh, God, what a random name that was. Luke, Glass may have better offense, but McLeod was a top faceoff guy in the league. Sign Sturm in the offseason cheap for the fourth. Like, Cotter, Sturm, Glass next year can cook on the fourth line. That'd be an interesting fourth line. But I do think Glass is pretty much I'm pretty sure they want Glass to be the 3C. So Sturm could be 4C. So I don't think Sturm and Glass would play on the same line. But I think there's definitely interesting combinations you can make for sure. Captain Mafungo says if Gritsuk is not coming over this year, trade him. By this year, you mean like this season? I don't think that's happening. Joe Mama, Ace, there are a lot of players that have contracts with NJ ending next season. Yeah, let's see. I'll read them all right now. A bunch are falling off. Well, Cody Glass is a free agent. I do think he will be re-signed. Tatar is going to be one and done after this year, I believe. Nate Bastian comes off the books, as does Curtis Lazar, Daniel Sprong, Justin Dowling. Yeah, so you're talking about Dowling will probably be done. Sprong possibly could be done. Lazar could be done, and Nate Bastian could be done, and Tatar. I think Glass will be brought back. We're talking about a lot of guys coming off the books. Trevor says, Ace, we need another bottle shot. How about them Devils? You know what? Cheers to all of you. Thank you for coming out tonight to celebrate. I'm always with the Victory Vodka. It tastes so much better than loser beverages. Dirty Devil Vodka, guys. This is the official vodka of the great Martin Brodeur. Check out their website. You could find places near you to go buy it in person, or you can straight up order it online. They'll ship to your house. This goes out to the New Jersey Devils and to you, Trevor. Cheers. How about them? How about those Devils? Stick Figs, why did I just hear about an Amanda? Yeah, I don't know what these people are talking about. I have no idea. Erica's married with a child. I just don't even know what they're talking about. Luke says, got to trade Hamilton next year. We need that cap for the forward core. The defense doesn't need him. Love Hamilton, but we don't need a $9 million picked of China. Lori T, it's really hard to enjoy the wins with other fans when it comes with all the Jack hate for no reason. It's not his fault that the rest of the team finally woke up because they had to. I don't think it's Jack hate, Lori. I just think it's people realizing that the reality is the team with Jack in the lineup, it kind of takes on, you know, his playing style becomes the identity of the team. And I do think that is, you know, Instagram hockey. It's not winning hockey. It's not. Is it productive at times and flashy? Yes. But in the end, it took him being out of the lineup for the team to embrace this new style of hockey. And I think people are seeing the difference. And I do think that when Jack comes back, he has to acclimate his game accordingly, because this should be the look of the team going forward. It should be the death of Instagram hockey. So I don't think it's necessarily hate. I just think it's the realization that, again, the identity with Jack in the lineup versus without is very different. And the team is now thriving in a new identity style of play, which is resulting in wins. I just think that's what it is, Lori. Again, I don't think it's hate. I just think it's kind of the eye-opening, you know, set of games that we've seen recently. Trevor, you're very needy tonight, my guy. But I will oblige because...
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? The Devils on a 3-game heater. Let's go. Let's go. Maybe I should ask him to inscribe Mrs. Fields. Wolf Rock and Marty got robbed of the Conn Smythe trophy in 03. He had 3 shutouts in the finals alone. If I remember, the crowd chanting Marty's better. Yeah, of course. I always talk to former players from that team about it as well, and everyone thinks it was a robbery. Marty had 7 shutouts in the playoffs and 3 in the finals. I mean, the fact that Jaguar got the Conn Smythe was a complete farce. And in my opinion, one of the biggest robberies in NHL history for sure. Jack, Ace, would you wear a red home Stanley Cup final jersey with a patch from 2012? Oh, God. Or a 2001 jersey? No. So now, furthermore to my neuroses when it comes to jerseys, I would never wear, personally, a cup patch jersey of a losing year. I just couldn't do it. Could not do it, would not do it. Luke, Pesci said he grew up a Rags fan and said that now he'll always be a Devil. Guy's a professional athlete. Happy he's here and a gamer. Love me some Pesci. Weightlifting Lab says Marty got robbed of the Conn Smythe that year. Weightlifting Lab, I'm still trying to see what your bench press is, bro. What's up? You can't have a name called the Weightlifting Lab and have a weightlifter as your picture. My man Prezify's got 455. There's no shame if you can't match it. I just want to know how close you are. Paulie Walnuts, Nico, Inscription Ideas, #1 overall pick 2017 or first career hat trick. I still think the one when he dropped the F-bomb after the Stadium Series is the ultimate Inscription. He might do it if you write it down with asterisks. He might do it. Chico, regarding Julian, can't help but feel like it was a mistake for Lou to fire him. Who knows what he does later on with that 08-09 team and later on with Covey. It's very true, but in the end, I'll go with the gut instincts of the architect, Louis Lambs. Yeah, Lou fired for Torque, who's in first place with 2 weeks to go. Larry won us the cup. Crazy. Luke, nerds online keep using Bratt in the mindless Kachuk trades. It's not happening, and if it did, he'd leave and go to Florida. I kind of agree. But I can't hate on people for just dreaming out loud. The hat trick, that's a good one, and that was a great moment. Very cool. 3 in a row. Trevor Ace, who do you think will be a top 6 target for Fitz the Genius this offseason? I would love Brock Besser, but these contracts are going to get silly. I would love Brock Besser. I think he would be a good fit. I do think there'll be potential guys to be brought in via trade. Let me see in terms of, I just looked at this the other day. Unrestricted free agents, there's a lot at the very high end that we're not going to be players for, like, Mitch Marner and stuff. Like, he's going to get paid stupid money, and I have no interest in him. But let's see. Tavares, depending on how much money Tavares wants, he might try to stay there. I would love him at the right price. Jamie Benn probably will re-sign in Dallas for cheap, I'd imagine. I'd take Jamie Benn, even at his old age of whatever he's going to be, 36 at that time. Claude Giroux, I'd probably take a flyer on him. A lot of these vets, for a cheap price, I would take a shot on. Ellers is a free agent. Brock Nelson at the right price, I'd be interested in. Who we got? Oshie, Yanni Gordy, Palmieri, Granlund. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there. I would love Sam Bennett. He's probably my #1. I feel like a team is going to back up the truck for him. But talk about a heavier, edgier, more violent guy. I would love Sam Bennett on this team. My God. He'd probably be my #1 want personally. Stickfig says McDermott, Stevens, Dano. Not a bad trio. Michael Russell goes Jansen, Lemieux, and White. I like that as well. Luke, worst Devil losses all time, needs 100 spots down. Marty, even though he was done. Rafalski, Driver, Gomez. Fentanyl Floyd says Danico, Jansen, Peluso. Krung's, what are you guys talking about? Pizza? Chowski, Bratt may be the best late round draft pick in Devils history. Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, shit. The guy has a chance to, push towards. He's still so far away, but let's just fantasize for a minute. Could Bratter, as a lifetime Devil, push for Patty's records? No, I don't think so. He might have to play a long time. Just speaks to the legend of Patrick Elias. Yeah, Patty had 1,025 points. Bratter's at 435. So even if he only averaged, call it 70 points, yeah, I mean, 9 more seasons essentially would do it. 8.5 more seasons. Bratt definitely has a chance to break Patty's points records. Stevens did fight earlier in his career, BC, and was a tough mo. Look up old school footage of Stevens. He was killing people. Tough man. Go Boro. Stevens had a fight here or there, but I take Danico because Danico had more of that dog in the fight. Dude, bar fight. Dano said it best. Scott Stevens, you won't need anyone else. I actually forgot about Scotty. I was just going for enforcers. But I'd definitely put Stevens in my list. I'd have to push somebody out. Maggie, I cannot wait to meet Cotter and meet Covey again at the signing event. Very nice. Would love to meet Cotter someday too. Cotter, love Cotter. It was as of a couple days ago, he was number 11 in the entire league in hits. Brian, you think Jack Hughes will make the U.S. Olympic team? I do, barring that he's not injured. It is funny. I could also see a world where the team tries to convince him not to play in it, which I don't think he'll do. But man, I could see it being a conversation. That's with the new injuries now this year, it's going to be interesting. Nico Heritage jersey, very nice. Do you wear it, Nicole, or is it just like a display piece? Woodson says Jack for Tage is a no-brainer. Buffalo would laugh and say no. Luke says I'd trade Jack for Tage Thompson. Problem is we have Luke Hughes. I do think that adds to the element, which is why I've told people forever it's silly to even entertain these things because it'll never happen. But Yo Holmes, worst devil to leave. Oh, I forgot about Claude Lemieux as well. 95 offseason, 3-team deal, and we didn't even get Wendell Clark. Claude winning in 96 with Colorado was a heartbreaker. But Yo Holmes, him coming back early in that 2000 season en route to the second cup in franchise history was oh so sweet. Trevor, I feel like Cotter could be so good. How do they get him motivated to be a wrecking ball out there? He kind of is a wrecking ball. Go Burrow says Thompson plus Mara would be actually nasty. They really would. Amagi Thompson with his howitzer slap shot is scary. Wolf Rockin', Jack and Bratter for Brady Kachuk. Ooh, that's a steep price to pay. I don't think I could deal both of them. I think I could trade one or the other with a bunch of other stuff. Easier than trade both of them. Yeah, Claude was traded. That's why I didn't count it. But I guess if we're just talking about guys leaving, however it happens, he would definitely be in there as well. Thompson and Meyer on the line would be nuts. Yeah, dude. Some big bodies. Big bodies. Devin G says, well, we all love Timo in this chat. Okay, some of us anyways. I love Timo. It's always Timo time on this channel, folks. Always Timo time on this channel, but there are haters among us. It is what it is. Captain Mafungo, Luke has 9 points in 9 games played. Are you saying 9 in his last 9? I know he's been on almost a point per game for the past 9 games or so. Devin G, still turnovers with Luke, but can't deny his game grew this year. He's moving in the right direction. Yeah, for sure. He's maturing as an NHL defenseman. He is becoming more responsible, and a lot of that has to do with being paired with Brett Pesce in a lot of the games. I've said it for years. I always like a young defenseman paired with a veteran defenseman, and that's why I thought the Luke Nemitz pairing, when Nemitz first came back, putting Luke and Nemitz out there, I thought was a suicide mission. And there was a couple games where it didn't look terrible, but then it got exposed. And he broke them up, which I thought was going to be inevitable at some point because 2 young guys together is a recipe for disaster. Yo, Holmes, I always loved Phil Housley, but he didn't do much. And Estetikinen was a devil for 5 minutes in 96. So weird. Yeah. Definitely had some very random guys, make cameos for the New Jersey Devils. Woodson, Ace happier than a kid in a candy store? Absolutely, I am. I want to make the freaking playoffs so bad. Defensemen take longer to develop, which is true. Krung says 5 times 3 for Glass is a lot. That does seem like a lot. Vic says Amanda is married with kids too. I don't think so, but I don't know. But I feel like I would know that if that was the case. I don't think that's true. The weightlifting lab. Thank God Instagram hockey is gone. Luke says you just used the Instagram hockey comment. I mean, that's what it was. It was Instagram hockey. Weightlifting lab defense wins championships. Weightlifting lab. Give me the numbers, bro. When did you say PR? I missed it. What is the personal record? I'm sorry. Put it out there again. What is the personal record? I want to know. Lori, I'll be laughing when Jack wins the Hart and the Conn Smythe. If you think I'm a recent fan, I watched all the cups and was in the building when Marty got the all-time wins. I would love to see that stuff happen, but the injuries are a real concern. And I like Jack Hughes. I think he's a great player. I root for him. He's a great player. But the injuries are a real concern. That's all I'm going to say. Captain Mafungo, with Dougie out, Luke is the only offensively minded defenseman on the team. I agree, and that's why I always said I preferred personally Casey over Nemitz. But I also said I think Casey is going to be a great. I think Nemitz is going to be a great defenseman one day. I just don't see what the path for both of them being in the NHL is. But who knows? Maybe if somehow Dougie and or Siegenthaler are moved in the offseason that maybe they both could be on the team, but it just seems like the Devils would be very hesitant to have them both in the lineup even next year. So I don't know. Nemitz has a little offense. I don't think it's anywhere near the kind of ceiling, offensively speaking, that Casey has, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of them is traded this summer. Nemitz has offensive 2. Chowski, I can see the idea of Jack being traded if the Devils can make it to the second round of the playoffs this year. I can't see him playing more than 70 games a year ever again because of his frame. I'm not even going to say because it's frame. It's just because of his injury history. This is his 6th year in the league, and he's been injured every year. I mean, it is what it is. Knowles, I was offered that Dirty Devil vodka at Brodeurs meet and greet and chose 2 pucks instead. Great game tonight. Great win. Great show by Allen. Let's go Devils. Yeah, the vodka is very good, but, I get why you'd want pucks signed instead. That makes sense. Devin G, kind of like the Timo hate. I don't understand this Jack hate either. Dude won us so many games, especially Rags games. I love how we were playing without him, but no denying he's still that dude. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily hate. I think it's people just, making observations. I don't think it's hate at all. Maybe there is some people hating. Just to clarify, I am not a Jack Hughes hater by any stretch. He's dynamic. Maybe I missed some comments in the chats. I don't know. Trevor, with the current goaltending and solid D, we have a chance at making a run. Absolutely. Goaltending and defense matter a lot in the playoffs, and when both of those departments are playing well, you have a chance to win. If you could scrape out 2 goals and grind out some 2-1 games. Luke says, Jiggy got it because what he did in the playoffs overall. Marty's gaff in Game 3 and Devils hate by mainstream media. I still remember the one reporter saying Marty's shutouts weren't the same. Reporters are idiots. If you win the cup and you have 7 shutouts and 3 in the finals, you get the Conn Smythe. Game over. There's nothing to talk about. The fact that they gave it to Jaguar was a farce. Yo Holmes says, Marty set the all-time playoff shutout record, 3 in the finals, including shutout in Game 7. Loses the MVP to the loser goalie. Yeah, it makes sense. Never. I'm still just as enraged about it today as I was nearly 22 years ago. Go Boro, I wouldn't want to give up Bratt in a Kachuk trade, but if I was Ottawa, you bet your ass I'm asking for Bratt. Yeah, absolutely. If there was a way to get him without trading Bratt or Jack or Timo or Nico, that would be insane. I'd be all in on any trade that didn't involve one of them. But, I think he's going to stay there, and if he ever does leave, I do think he's going to Florida. Luke says Marner and Tavares are going to be rags. Wow. Devin G, I'm out. Y'all still hyped over the dub. Good night, Devils fans. Good night, Devin. Cape Dollar Stevens not getting the Norris in 94 with 78 points and a plus 53. 53 was robbery. Yeah, that was probably another one that was robbery. I could see Marner going to Utah or Minnesota. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. He's going to command a fortune. Luke, Ben would be awesome on the third line. 5x5, move out Palat. 5x5? You're crazy. Ben is like 36, I think. If you offer him 5x5, he's definitely coming here. Yeah, he's 35 years old. You can't give him 5 years. He's turning 36 in the summer. I would love Jamie Benn at the right price, but it's got to make sense. 5x5, Luke, is crazy. Krung's Brock Besser would be great. He's not afraid to sit at the bumper and in front of the net. Luke, Bennett is going to get overpaid by Toronto. Thinking Clarkson comment. It could be. Go Boro, Sam Bennett would go hard. Hughes, Bennett, Bratt sounds nice. Ooh, I would really like that line. I really, really would like that line. Lori, we need both skill and size. Fitzy needs to be a better GM. Yeah, we can make the playoffs with this team. With Jack and Siegs and one more good forward, we can win the cup. I think so. What was the pin message? I was talking about a taco place that's owned by 2 women who had an affair and divorced their husbands. Oh my God. I didn't, I've never heard about that. Yo, Holmes, Cape Dollar. I always thought it was nuts that Stevens never won a Norris. Luke, Eliash not in the hall while the none-nothing Sedines are in with less numbers is disgraceful. Yeah. I think eventually Patty should get in for sure. SJ says crazy, but I don't trade Bratt for even Kachuk. 1-for-1? Chowski's Bennett's having a career year is going to cost a decent amount. Yeah, I think he's going to get paid. Go Boro, love Cotter too. Am I still insane for saying he's a modern day crash liner? I mean, I think it. I can't give him. I love Cotter, but I can't say he's a modern day crash liner just because he's nowhere near big enough. I love Cotter, but for me to even remotely call you a modern day version of a crash liner, you have to be way bigger. He's listed at 6'2", 213. I don't think he's that big. I don't think he's 6'2". He could be 213, but if we're talking crash line, you got to be a little beefier than that. But on a modern day scale, he might be as close as you get to it. I don't know. He's close though for a modern day, which is a very different scale. There'll be nothing like the old time crash line. Absolute legends. The closest I wear it, the Heritage is one of my favorites. Very nice. Jack, on a scale of 1 to 10 on 3 separate scales, how concerned are you with the health and Devils futures of Jack, Siegs, and Hamilton? I'll just, I'm not very concerned about Siegenthaler and Hamilton because they're not, I don't look at them as longtime Devils. And I always thought one or both of Siegenthaler and Hamilton would be traded before their contract is up just because of the depth we have in the, in the cupboard for defenders that are young. So I never thought both of them would make it to the end of their contracts. And so, to be honest, I'm not that concerned. When you're talking about Jack, I'm a 10 concerned. You're talking about now 6 seasons in the league where he's never played a full 82. He's now damaged, I think, 2 different shoulders that needed to be surgically repaired. Like, that's very worrisome, in my opinion. And I don't see how it already seemed like he was a little gun shy this year and trying to avoid contact. And that was after 1 surgery. Now this year he's had his 2nd. I do think he is going to, I don't know. I just think it's going to affect him a little bit mentally when he's on the ice. And I think, in the back of his mind and in the back of my mind as well, that he's always one big hit, weird collision away from another surgery. So if I'm being honest, when you're talking about one of the franchise players, I'm a 10 concerned about Jack. World's worst gamer for sure. Devils better not let up versus the Pens on Saturday. They need 2 even more than we do. Yeah. Luke says you can't trade for Brady. He's going to Florida in 3 years. I definitely think that. Trevor, what jersey are you guys wearing at games? Mine is always my Stevens jersey. Got to rep the old guard. Very nice. Ryan Johnson says Jack Hughes literally has more points and less games played. You Thompson lovers are insane. But it's more than just points. There's way more to this game than just points. In the end, you need certain styles of players and a certain mixture of players to win championships. Go Boros says I have my Danico jersey. I wore it to the Prague game. Joe, Stevens should have gotten the Norris in 94. His best offensive year. He was second to Ray Bork. Was a steal. Weightlifting Lab on Canadian TV. McDavid and Draisaitl were the 2nd and 3rd stars. I'm not surprised. Go Boro. I remember being in the hot dog line with a guy with a Stevens jersey, and there was that telepathic Devils unity there. Richard, I know you're busy, Ace. When is the next Cam coming out and Jamie? I don't know. Jamie's not done. I will eventually get to it at some point. I just haven't done the interview yet, but I will have him again. Cam is done. I'm hoping in the next man. I need to find a day to just bang all this stuff out. I'm hoping at some point next week, the final chapter of the Cam Jansen interview comes out. And then probably the week after the Jay Pandolfo one will come out. Wolf, Claude Lemieux played like a man possessed in the 95 playoffs. Loved Riche too. Yeah, old school Devils, man. Old school Devils. Luke, also agree with vet young pair. Nemitz and Dillon seem to complement each other. I hope he and Dillon can continue to grow. Trade Hamilton, keep Nemitz and Casey. Jack, going to be tough for Nemitz and Casey to both be in the lineup together. They have Pesce and Kova locked up long-term, and I can't see Casey being played on his offside long-term. It's a fair point. Yeah, I mean, you never know, though. But it is interesting. And it does seem like now, if you had to pick, who do you think the franchise is, the organization is prioritizing, you'd have to say at this exact moment in time that it looks like they prioritize Nemitz over Casey, but you never know. Luke says the Brady talk is as mind-numbing as hearing Fitz in on everyone. But he came in second. Luke. He tried. SJ, glad they didn't trade Casey or Nemitz. Let's see more of them and see what they have. Ariel, team first identity over individual talent. New Jersey Devils old school hockey. Keep it up, guys. Weightlifting lab. Jack looked like a child next to McDavid in the Four Nations. Luke says, Ace, 5x5 isn't what it was 5 years. Wait, isn't what it was 5 years. Worst case, you buy him out year 4 or 5, got to pay to play hard cap league. No one's giving him 5 years, man. Come on. 5 years at 36. Jungle Static, the most important thing here is that the team is showing some character. They know the knocks in them. They're stepping up, and it's a beautiful thing. Completely agree. Adam, would you take a run on Matt Duchene in the summer? At the right price, I'm inquiring on tons of people. I would love Duchene. I think we need a couple wily veterans. I know a lot of people around here think that guys, once they're 34, they think you should be in the retirement home with a walker. But I am not of that belief. Matt Duchene, I think, is he having a career year this year? It might be. I'm pretty sure he leads the Stars in points at 34. Oh no, he had that crazy year a few years back with the Preds. He had 86. But he'll finish with his second highest points total in his career. Yeah, he had 86 for the Preds in 21-22. And he had 65 points last year for the Stars in 80 games. He's at 66 points now through 64 games. So you're talking about a guy, and he had 70 for the Avs in 13-14. He'll definitely finish above that. He's going to finish in the 70s. So you're talking about maybe even the 80s. So you're talking about a guy who's going to have his second best career year and a long, illustrious career for Matt Duchene. A 15-year, 16-year career. He's going to have his second best year ever at age 34. I would certainly take a run at him, but I wouldn't be shocked if he stays put. I mean, they have a very good team. I could see Ben, signing there at a discount as well, and them running it back, or mostly running it back. Go Boro, is it bad that my gut can totally see Siegenthaler going back to Washington? I mean, I think a lot of teams would be able to use him. Trevor, if Jack Hughes isn't the guy, who is the guy that steps up or we signed to be the all-star of this team? Bratter is the man, but do we get another player that tops the list? I mean, if I'm being realistic, all three of the Devils Cup teams, none of them had like the over-the-top superstar player. Patty Eliash was on the 2000 and 2003 team, and he was a very good player and an all-star, but he wasn't like a superstar, if you will. I would say the only superstar was really the great Martin Brodeur in net, but in terms of forwards, there really wasn't a superstar in any of those teams. And even in 2003, I mean, my God, it was pretty much Patty, and they had other names, but Langenbrenner. These are not mind-blowing names like the McDavids, McKinnons of the world. These were just very good players that knew their role and played a team game. So I don't necessarily believe you need like the guy. You just need a good culmination of guys. And I do like our core, but I do think we need some more veteran guys like a Duchene or an O'Reilly, a Jamie Benn. Like if we could somehow get two guys in that world of just like grizzled veterans, I think the group could really, come together and make a real deep run over the next couple of years. I'm hoping to see one this year as well. My man Chase, smash that like for Ace. What up, Chase? Thank you, sir. Yeah, hit the like. I can't see the stats. They're probably bad. But, you guys are getting stingy. Stingy with the thumbs up. Yo, Holmes, I usually get shady tacos and Little Falls at Munchies. Oh, man, I used to get fat sandwiches from Munchies back in the day. I would order, like, ridiculous fat boy orders. I'd get, like, all kinds of sides and a fat sandwich. Yeah, Munchies. I paid the price some of those next mornings from Munchies, but wow, Munchies is great, quick and easy. Go Boro, tell Cam that some of us have him in our bar fighting Devils team. I'm sure he'd get a kick out of that. Yo, Holmes, this is blasphemy, bro. That steakhouse over there sucks too. Rare, totally overrated. Yo, Holmes, I wholeheartedly disagree. Rare is definitely one of my favorite restaurants ever. For sure. Their sides are banging. I totally disagree. I haven't been there in a while, but I've been there a bunch of times, and I've never had a bad meal there. I think Rare is top-notch. Steve Smith just got home from the game. Man, I was fired up for this win. What a great game you saw, Steve. I was also there. You must live pretty damn far away. Trevor, Ace, I meant to mention this during the trade deadline show, but are you not aware that you have more subs than Cam's channel? Could I get a, are you not entertained? I do find that weird. I kind of wanted to reach out to him and give him some ideas. Not that I'm like an expert, but I do think it's kind of sad that somehow, yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, I have some ideas that I'd like to just kind of share with him, but I'm a nobody. I'm just a random fan. The fact that I do have more subs than him is kind of crazy. And I just think it's more of maybe some things that they're not doing right. But it is crazy. I appreciate everyone that subscribes or watches the videos. But, yeah, I do find that to be tragic. Everyone go subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to drop the link. Cam and Strick, former New Jersey Devil, Cam Jansen, and Andy Strickland. Great podcast. They get A-plus guests. They do a great show. I love watching it. I listen in the car a lot. I'll watch at home. But go subscribe to them. Great guys. Love me some Cam Jansen, but great podcast. But yeah, it is crazy that I have more subs than him. It's one of those kind of unexplainable things. Ryan, Ace, do you wear white jerseys to the Rock or only red? Red or black? I am an absolute slob, and I spill shit everywhere. If I had a white jersey on at the game, it would be destroyed by probably midway through the second period. It would just look destroyed. The red hides it a little bit better. I actually did a good job tonight. I don't think I spilled tonight, but a white jersey is very unforgiving and not for me. For an in-arena jersey, absolutely not. Richard, I love Jack Hughes, but I have the same concerns. He's fragile, and if he were to get injured again, as cold as this sounds, I would trade him. He's going to have to make serious adjustments in 26. Johnny Danks, Ace, awesome Devils roundtable the other night. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. It was something a little different from what I normally do, and I thought it was, fun to pick the brains of other guys that are kind of out there, talking Devils or doing any sort of Devils content online. Wolf Rock and Ace, I know Scotty is happy being away from the game, but how great of a head coach would he be? Man, he hates losing. My favorite Devil of all time, just ahead of Marty. Yeah, not all great players end up being great coaches. We've seen it with, tons of guys over the years, including Wayne Gretzky. I think Scotty could be a good head coach. I just think, like I've talked about plenty of times, that he's just super happy chilling. And I think he's over it. He dedicated his life to hockey for, if you're including his childhood, 40 years or so. And I think he's now enjoying the spoils. Michael, night all, win or lose. I know we booze, but chatting with like-minded Devils fans is awesome. See you all Saturday. Good night, Michael. Luke, we have plot 6x6, trust in booze face. Brian, I never thought this team would have a real chance at a 4+ game winning streak after that Jets game. Yeah, I know. That was demoralizing. I was there for that one, too. Dennis, Elias was a superstar, but being an NJ, he was always underrated. Yeah, you guys are using superstar very, very loosely. Superstar to me is if you ask anyone around the league, they know exactly who they are, and they're like a huge name. Patty was a star, but I'm going to say he wasn't a superstar. I'm going to say Gomez wasn't a superstar either. Or these guys. None of these guys were superstars. I have to disagree with all of you. Mogilny was a superstar before that, Husky. I think in 2000, I don't know. I feel like that was kind of after his window. But I do think Mogilny around the league was a bigger name than all of the other guys that were like longtime Devils. What will it take for us to sign Patrick Kane? I think he will want 4 years. I think that ship sailed. I would have liked Kane a few years ago. I just don't think he fits what the team needs anymore. He's a little bit older, obviously a very headsy player, but I just think we need some more, heavier, edgier, more violent guys, and Patrick Kane doesn't fit the bill for me. Ethan, do you think we'll get another stadium game anytime soon? If so, who do you think would be a good opponent? I think it's going to have to be the Rangers. And I would love to see it be a Winter Classic, not just the Stadium Series. I would love a Winter Classic. I would have to believe it's going to be the Rangers. Ace, you missed what I said. The taco place is... Wait. Is this a real story that the place is called a taco affair and then two ladies left their husbands for each other? Is that what you're telling me? Trevor, I have to say the roundtable is awesome, but you are by far the best of the bunch. Keep doing it. I was a Let's Go Devils regular beer Trump. So, no, I appreciate that, man. But listen, I got nothing but love for anybody that's in this game of making content. So support everybody if you can. It's not easy doing this stuff, and not everyone does the same kind of stuff, and not everyone likes maybe a specific style. But I think everybody's worth supporting if you're a Devils fan for sure. Steve Smith, I take 2 trains and a bus to get there. Broke boy dedication. Look at you. Dedication is right. Shout out to the dedication. That's a fan right there. SJ, love Patty. Miss him. He sacrificed offense to the team. Absolutely, because Patty wanted to win cups. If Patty was on like the Red Wings or, the Stars, the Avalanche, or some other teams over that time, he probably would have scored an extra 15, 20 points a year. But he did sacrifice offensive stats to be part of a more defensively responsible team that ultimately went on long playoff runs, and Patty has 2 cup rings as a result. Mark, maybe Jack being out is a blessing. I think the team depended on him too much. Now they seem to be playing winning team hockey. I agree. Stadium game, give me Devils versus Toronto. I think they're going to go with a more local team just for the ticket sales probably. I could see maybe the Flyers as well, but they already did that, and I don't think they would do Islanders. I just think Devils Rangers just seems to make the most sense to me. Mustard is the nemesis for all white hockey jerseys. Amagi, I'll never forget spilling burrito on my white Brodeur All-Star jersey. Jack, Ace, what's your favorite late night sweet stack and late night salty snack? Ooh, it's a good one. I have a lot, man. I'm a fat ass. I love food. I love junk food. I've been trying to cut back on it dramatically as of late because during the holiday months, I just feasted like a slob at family gatherings and parties, and who's baking brownies and cookies and cakes and pastries and ice cream. It was just a gluttony. It was a gluttonous affair for all of November and December, just a complete gluttonous affair. I would say favorite late night sweet snack would probably just be ice cream, honestly. Ice cream is always my go-to. Little Ben and Jerry's pint. Single serve, obviously, those are not meant to be, once you open it, you finish it. That's, my world of Ben and Jerry's. It's just a single serving. You pop the lid and just crush it. Salty snack, I would say, if you're not talking about real food, because I love real food more so than anything. So like salty snack, you could go real food. But if you're talking about just like straight up like snacks, I would say some kind of chips or smart food popcorn. I absolutely love smart food popcorn. I love Doritos too, but pretty much all chips I like. But yeah, I would say chips or smart food popcorn. The cheesy popcorn is the salty, and I'm going Ben and Jerry's ice cream on the sweet side. Also like brownies and cookies as well. You got to wash that shit down with milk. A little glass of whole milk. Just, oh man, milk does a body good. Aaron says Zetterlund reunion next season. I don't think so. Supposedly he wants like crazy money. And I wouldn't pay, the rumor was like $6 million. Like I like Zetterlund, but $6 million is steep. Traveling Devil, besides Marty, the Devils didn't have a superstar till Covey. I kind of agree with that. I think Covey would be like the next guy that was considered a superstar. Even though we had great players that were star players, I just feel like when you say superstar, it means like everyone in the whole league is like, that guy's a superstar. And I think Kovalchuk definitely was that because he was a superstar and in the prime of his career on Atlanta when we got him in that trade. Luke, if Elias played in Colorado, Detroit, Rags, Philly, or Dallas, he'd be called a superstar. He had the numbers. The Sedins are superstars. Come on. Maybe that's part of it. But all I'm saying is I don't believe the perception is that Patty was a superstar. Lori, people talking about trading Jack and that him being out is a blessing. How is that not Jack hate? And I believe that he re-injured the same shoulder. He's not breaking down piece by piece. I'm not sure. I thought originally it was the same shoulder, and then I thought someone said it was the opposite shoulder. But either way, I just think it's part of the business, Lori. I think you're taking it a little like personally, maybe. And maybe they do me. I didn't interpret that as hate. I just interpreted it as people kind of thinking out loud. Maybe it is hate. I don't know. I don't want to trade Jack Hughes. But, when people are posing the question, I think it's just like a kind of silly discussion point, but I don't necessarily interpret that as hate. And him being out is a blessing. I never said that. If people did, I don't think they had malice behind it. I think they just mean that as a result, the team has had to kind of raise their games without him in his absence and figure out ways to win. And as a result, the team is winning. So, if you interpret that as Jack hate, I guess I could see it. I personally didn't kind of take it as that, but I guess I could see how or why you would take it as that. Trevor, not bringing back Zetterlund really irks me. Why is Fitch such a jackass? Yeah, for a second rounder, I 100% would have got him, even if it's a pure rental, even if you knew you weren't going to re-sign him for the playoff push in the playoffs for a second rounder. I mean, we used a second rounder on Dumoulin, and he's not going to be here next year. So we rented a defenseman for a second rounder when, in my opinion, we had way more defensemen to cover holes in the lineup versus forwards. Like if someone said, at all things equal, would you rather have Dumoulin or Zetterlund? I think 98% of people would have taken Zetterlund, myself included. Jack, Ace, if there's a Devil's Rags Winter Classic, what stadium would you want it at? Definitely MetLife. Anywhere in New York is a complete tragic nightmare to get to, whether you're talking Yankee Stadium or I guess Citi Field would be one, but I couldn't see that either. I think realistically it would have to only be at Yankee Stadium or MetLife, and I think MetLife is better, and MetLife has the beautiful tailgating capabilities. And obviously being right next to our old arena with all the nostalgia. And so for that reason, I would 1,000,000% hope it's at MetLife because I think it's the perfect format for it and easy for people to get to from the city as well. Oh, I don't know how to turn the thing off. Does the pin comment bother everybody that much? I don't even think I could do it. Let me see. I'll try. I had to open up another window. You guys are a pain. Right there. You guys happy now? The pin comment is gone. I lost my spot. Where am I? Okay. 42730 were superstars. I'm going to say Marty was a superstar. I don't think the other guys would have been considered superstars. I could be wrong. Cape Dweller 2000-2001 was Mogilny's last 40-goal season. Should have won a cup. Man, what a great team that 2001 team was. It's a damn shame what happened. Wolf Rock and Ace, I'm dying to take my son to his first Devils game, but for decent seats, parking, I know I couldn't control myself in the store. I'm looking at dropping $600 or $700 to do it. Any advice, bud? You could definitely do it for cheaper than that, my man. Yeah, Wolf, you definitely, I would say if you just need 2 tickets, Wolf, I think you could do it for like half of that, maybe even less. Yo, Holmes, 1.5 hours from Bergen to Newark might make better time if you rode a horse. MSG Vault, huge win. I was literally hoping for a point in OT or a shootout, but to win is so awesome for this team. Absolutely. Absolutely. Steve says, you ever drive there in traffic? Uber takes longer in rush hour. Richard, I did not yet. I just tabbed it on my YouTube. So I will certainly watch that soon. I have it tabbed. SJ says Ace Needs was definitely a superstar. Listen, he's a superstar to me, right? And to Devils fans. But I think to truly be a superstar, you need to be considered a superstar by the whole league. I don't know that Niedermayer was. I think he was another guy who was kind of underappreciated because there was an anti-Devils bias, I believe, for years and years. Uber is garbage leaving the Rock. Luke, Patty was also gone and stayed in NJ. Look up the interview. It's in YouTube. Rags fans chanting Patty Eliash after he swept them. Yeah, he was interest from signing with the Rangers. Mark, Kane's Devils would be an interesting stadium series. Yo, Holmes, I live close, so getting there is no problem. Leaving is usually a pain in the ass. Dennis, who is your favorite captain? Not named Stevens. I loved Langs. Love Jamie Langenbrunner. I guess, are you counting like 1 year captains? You know, Langenbrunner would be like my favorite outsider that eventually became a captain. You know, Patty and Niedermeyer were also captains for a year, so I would have to put them above just because they're longtime Devils. But absolutely love Langenbrunner. He would be my favorite captain that kind of became a longtime Devil after the fact. And if you haven't seen it, Dennis, I did do an interview while we're on the topic of Jamie Langenbrunner. I'll promote. I did an interview with him a few months ago. It was a very cool experience for me. I did it in person. Jamie's the coolest dude of all time. And I did an interview with him. I'll put the link in the chat. Dennis, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Langenbrunner. Luke says, Mogilny, dude, come on, man. What is that in reference to? Go Boro Ace, hot chip sauce challenge for final game of the season. Each goal take a shot. But how is that a hot chip sauce challenge if you're talking about shots? Richard, my favorite late night snack is a Guinness. It's like a meal. Steve, any plans for group game / meetup in the future? I'm still trying to figure this out. It might have to wait till next season, but I'm trying to figure out all these things, like how many people would want something like this. I'm still trying to gauge all of it, but eventually I have some grand plans to do some really cool, like in-person stuff. But you know, baby steps. Everything's, I have a lot of ideas in my head, a lot of crazy ones. And I think some of them are going to come to fruition. And I think a lot of you are going to enjoy the shit out of them, but it all just takes time to get all my little duckies in a row. The 5 numbers hanging in the Prudential Center are superstars. There's no way. I'm so sorry, but no. Ken Danico is not a superstar. And I'm going to say all the other guys other than Marty weren't considered superstars. It's not a knock on them. I think they're all amazing players. I love all of them. They are all superstars to me. They are all superstars to Devils fans. But if you're talking about superstars as considered by the rest of the league's fan base, I don't know that any of them besides Marty would be. Steve says Danica wouldn't even agree with that. Luke, Ace, the opposite shipper was 2 years ago. No surgery. I don't know what that is. Go Boro. Maybe superstars if they had their best season times 7 times 10 would be their name in the rafters. Way to measure. Wolf, be careful with the snacks, Ace. Once you hit 50, it's all downhill from there, my friend. I'll be 55 this year, and man, do you feel it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I feel like if you want to be a healthy person, like you could maybe you have to eat snacks like super rarely. Like soup, like maybe like a snack a week or something. What a miserable life. Aaron, do you think we trade off one of the core in the offseason? I think if they do, if you go by process of elimination, Bratt gets the gate. What do you think? I think if they were to trade someone from the core, I think it would be Bratt by process of elimination, like you said, but I don't think it happens this year whatsoever. Ace, how do you wash your jerseys while not messing up the crest? So I turn them inside out and wash them with cold water on gentle. And then just like do the same thing, leave it inside out and do like a very gentle dry, and it'll be fine. Assuming it's not like a piece of crap jersey. This is an on ice authentic. So I just turn it inside out so that the crest is protected inside, and you just put it in cold on gentle, and then you dry it on gentle or even just hang dry it. Yeah, yo, Holmes, I wash my jersey on the lightest wash inside out and hang dry. Exactly what I just said. Yep, that's the way to do it. Lori, no one has talked to Covey about his extension. That'd be something the media could cover. One of the only things Fitzy did right at the deadline. I agree. I was super pumped when Fitzgerald a few months ago, it feels like, I think, had mentioned that he wanted to re-sign Kovacevic. I was a huge Kovacevic fan very early. And I believe like by November, I think I even publicly said in a live here after one of the games, I said, I haven't fallen in love with the player this quickly in a long time. And Kovacevic did it for me pretty quickly. He showed heavier, edgier, more violent. He had a couple bomb slappers, and he just seemed like a great locker room guy. And I was like, I love this guy. Sign him up. And glad that it got done. Luke, guys, we couldn't trade a second for Zetterlund because we have Dowling looking to get in there, and there's a 6'10 defender in the Mongolian league that's oozing with potential. Steve Smith says advice, control yourself in the store. Yeah, obviously. The store is expensive. Lots of cash to be spending in the store, like walking out with your hands absolutely full. You'd be surprised. Stuff costs a lot more than it does, costs more than you think. Go Boro. I'd want to find an epic jersey in a thrift store for like $40. Something special about those. Luke, I can't believe the kid we traded to Anaheim is our 6th rated prospect. Was he rated that high? I mean, I've heard of him, but you guys know how I feel about future pieces. I'm a win now, dude. Unless you're talking about like Gritsuk or Haminaho or Yegorov, like most guys, I'm like, eh. Go Boro. Didn't you say Niedermayer is better than McCarr? Wouldn't that technically make him a superstar? No. Superstar, again, superstar is not like get this many points, you're a superstar. Superstar is not a real thing. It's a label. It's a label given you to by other people. And so talent-wise, McCarr might be close to Niedermayer level, but in terms of the grand scheme of his accomplishments, it's a slap in the face to compare pretty much anyone to Niedermayer because the man won 4 Stanley Cups, a Conn Smythe Trophy, multiple gold medals, and is one of the greatest defensemen of all time. And he was great for years and years. So could McCarr eventually get there, close to there one day? Maybe. But it's way too soon to be, making those types of lofty comparisons, in my opinion. Ryan, don't sit lower level. You can see the game better anyways. Don't go in the weekends either if possible. Certain teams cost way more. Krungs, put it this way, old NHL commercials weren't exactly rolling shots of Devils players like they did with other teams back in the day. That's a sign of being a superstar or not. I agree. Superstars are kind of a media fan-driven thing, and the Devils never got love, and it is what it is. That kind of made it even more of a special bond between Devils fans, like a secret club or something, because we knew what we had and other teams didn't, or other fans didn't necessarily appreciate Devils players the way maybe other stars or great players around the league were. Red Devil, Devils Rangers would be an epic stadium series. Absolutely. Run it back. The last one was 2013 or 14, whatever it was. To do it again would be phenomenal. Vic Langenbrunner, another underappreciated player, in my opinion. Absolutely. Jamie was a warrior. SJ, to me, Hall of Fame equals superstar at some point. Maybe yes and no. Jack, favorite non-Devil of all time and currently, also most hated player all time and currently. Ooh, that's a good question. Favorite, I guess favorite non-Devil of all time. It's hard. I can't give one answer for these, so I'll just give a couple. Favorite non-Devils of all time, and one of them ultimately became a Devil. I had a lot, but all-time favorite non-Devils were probably Jágr and Mario Lemieux, and then I geeked out, like lost my mind when Jágr ultimately became a Devil, later on in his career. Just absolute awesome to see Jágr wearing a Devils jersey. Never thought in a million years I'd see it. But Jágr and Lemieux are definitely two of my favorite non-Devils, and then obviously Jágr became one, like I said. Currently, my 3 favorite, I guess I'll give 4. My 4 favorite current non-Devils, in no particular order, would be Sidney Crosby, Connor McDavid, Brady Tkachuk, and Alex Ovechkin. How do you not like Alex Ovechkin? A guy that has skill and smashes people and just runs them over and then says, Russian machine, don't break. Oh, my God. Love Ovechkin. Most hated player all time and currently all time, probably Messier and Ty Domi. Currently most hated player. Current most hated player. I'd have to think about current. Current most hated. I don't know. Probably someone on the Rangers. I'd have to think about it. Luke, Ace, when Needs left, he was instantly catapulted to superstar status by the national sports media. You're a victim of years being beaten down by the anti-NJ sorting news. To me, the label superstar is not a real thing. That's what I'm saying. It's just like a narrative. So, again, doesn't change how I feel about the guy. He's one of the best players of all time, and I think he's an all-time great, right? So, when I think of superstar, I just think, were they selling jerseys of these people in malls? And, like, were they making posters and shit of them? Like, I really don't think Niedermeyer was on these things back in the day. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Mark, a lot of these guys would have been superstars on other teams, but NJ is a small market team sandwiched between two major market teams. Yeah, like I said, there was clearly an anti-Devils bias. I think that has a lot to do with it. That the Devils didn't really get a fair shake over the years, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It just makes being a Devils fan, especially during that time, all that more special. Wolf Rock and I agree, but check out prices for the lower level, and especially on the glass. It's absolutely crazy. We used to get playoff strips for less than that. I wouldn't advise sitting on the glass, personally. You lose a lot of the play. You could sit further back in the lower level and see more of the ice. Let me just see. I'm just checking some stuff out here. Wolf, I would say email me. I have some thoughts on this where you could get really good seats. On the glass is overrated, but I would say email me. But the Monday, March 31st game against the Wild, there's some very, very good deals on lower level seats right now, I will tell you. That is a great value. You could get some really nice lower level seats for under $100 a piece. Go, Boro, you take a shot of super hot sauce. Oh, God, I'm not a hot sauce guy. No way. Lori T, my favorite all-time Devil was John Madden. Very nice. Trevor Ace, when do you think we see Salayev? He can be a beast. My guess is 2027. What is it? I don't know what his contract status is. I'd imagine maybe the year after next. So I guess that would be 26, 27 or 27, 28. You're probably 27, 28. So probably 2 more seasons and then the third one. Yo, home is the end of the season, so it's tough to scour for cheap seats. My seat's lower level on a Tuesday, anywhere from $20 to $60. Go early, park for free in the street, easy peasy. Yeah, I mean, there is tons of deals right now. If you're not picky about where, there's lower levels on the Devils attack side I'm looking at right now. Lower levels on the Devils attack side, like in the corners and behind the net, for under $50 each, guys. Under 50 bills. Go, Boro. I love the Cam Jansen interview. Kind of makes me want to hug him. Yeah, talking to Cam was awesome. Steve Smith, keep doing what you're doing, and this channel will surely continue to grow, and more shit will become possible. I mean, that's the plan. I'm enjoying it. It's taking a lot of time. I do think eventually I'm going to dial it back a little bit just because it is very kind of grueling right now. But, yeah, I have some very grand plans that I hope, if even like I've told people before, if even a quarter of them actually materialize, it would be quite the accomplishment. Luke said, I said Mogilny because you said Kobe was our first superstar. Mogilny was like getting a golden ticket. I love how Lou had to talk to him first. No, Mogilny, I would say, was a superstar. But it's probably because he, had a long career, or a somewhat long career before he came to the Devils. And so he was already kind of established as a superstar. Husky Unchained Ace, do you own an Elias captain jersey, the 25th anniversary patch? Holy Grail jersey for me. I do not. That is a cool one. But if I'm being honest, again, because I'm a jersey snob, like even though both Niedermeyer and Patty were captains for a year, I always envision them as alternate captains with the A on their jersey because they wore that for so much longer than they wore the C. So if I was ever to get, and I don't see myself, how many jerseys do you need to wear? I mean, I have a ton of game-worn jerseys. But in terms of jerseys to wear, I don't know. I don't have a ton. Because I really only wear them to games. So like, what's the point of having them? If I ever was to get a jersey to wear of Patty or Needs, they would have A's on them, not the C. But that's a personal preference. Krungs, don't buy seats too close to the ice for your kids' first game. Buy lower bowl seats that are high up or even upper bowl seats. It's even cheap, sweet tickets that you could find online. Lori, I also love the A line. Absolutely legendary, the A line. Luke says I'm a victim of the NJ bias. No, I just understand the NJ bias. Go Boro, I've been dieting and you realize how hardcore some snacks are for calories. Bit of hunger pains and snacking can easily eat half of your allowed. Oh yeah, dude. I've crushed entire bags of things, or just opened something and ate the whole thing. I have no self-control. Jack, I organized a group outing for a game in a few weeks against the Canucks. I'm taking 15 people from Montclair State. I'm an officer in a club, and I'm doing that as my event. Very nice. Just eat snacks in moderation. Can we get 4 in a row finally? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. Dennis, I love two-way players, and Madden was a beast. Guys like that are hard to find. John Madden and Jay Pandolfo, two of the most underrated, underappreciated New Jersey Devils of all time, that on a night in and night out basis went up against the best lines on the other team and shut them down. Jim Card, Chalowski was in my class in high school. Nice guy. Funny to see him in a Devils uniform. That's crazy. Ace, who would you currently classify in the current NHL as superstars? The usual suspects. McDavid, Draisaitl, McKinnon, McCarr, Quinn Hughes, Kucherov. I guess Hellebuck. Who else? And there's a bunch. Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, probably Nylander as well. There's a bunch, man. Vasilevsky. The usual suspects. Adam, do you see Nemitz panning out? They were comparing his game to Leach. What happened to him? I think he's going to be a good player. He's a young kid. Is he 19 or 20? Shimo Nemitz. Oh, he's 21. He's a 21-year-old kid. I mean, he's super young. I think he's going to be good. For sure. Now, again, when people make comparisons to all-time greats and Hall of Famers and stuff, I think it's unfair to the kid because you have these lofty expectations. That's pretty crazy for people to be comparing him to Leach. Dennis, still remember that Needs end-to-end goal in the Cup Finals? Yeah, that was sick. Wolf Rock and Krunks, thank you for the advice, brother. My son is going to be 20 this year. I think glass seats are awesome. You feel like you're on the ice. I've only had tickets on the glass twice. Favorite non-Devil currently, Blake Coleman. Ace, what current players do you not see being on the roster next year? It's hard to call, man. Probably Lazar. Obviously, Tatar, I think, will not be. Lazar, Tatar. Bastion, I think, could be a coin flip. Dowling. Pretty much the guys that are contracts are up. Jack, I'd say that Needs is a superstar. Cups, gold medals, Norris in the Hall too. He's close to a superstar. I think if people were asked to list superstars of that era, I believe any knowledgeable people are putting Needs on the list now. I just feel like when he was a Devil, he wasn't considered a superstar, in my opinion. Again, I think the world of him, he's an all-time great. I'm just saying superstar is, again, a label that's kind of constructed by the outside world. I don't think he really got the respect he deserved, probably until he was in Anaheim. Favorite non-Devil, Patrick Waugh. Most hated, Avery. Currently, Marchand. Ace can't pick guys who are Devils. Who did I pick that was a Devil? Yager? Krung says, I'll take sitting in the Pure Club, watching the whole game in nice seats and high-end buffet foods over glass seats any day of the week. Krungs, I 1,000% agree with you, but it's a personal preference. A lot of people like the being right there on the ice. I personally agree with you. I'd like to have a view of the whole ice. And then if you're talking about the Pure Club with the food, can't be beat. Dennis' favorite non-Devil right now is Draisaitl. Rempe most hated. Oh, yeah, Rempe. How could I forget? It's been a long couple days, guys. Not a fan of Trocheck or Rempe or Kreider. Most hated, Rempe, Marchand, Natchez. Oh, yeah, Natchez would be up there for me, too. Luke, I would have loved the Coleman and Rico reunion. Too bad Boo's face was saving HBSE money. Go Boro, favorite non-Devil, Jerome McGinley. Love McGinley. Favorite current non-Devil, Marchand. I would love him on the Devils, Marchand. And I love Jerome McGinley as well. Yeah, Go Boro. McGinley would have been a great Devil. Yeah, Devil that left and glad to see him go. That's a hard one for me. Go Boro. Ace. Favorite other teams' fans to hang out with? Who have you found the nicest and the least? Non-Rags, Flyers, Pens, nicest? I don't have that many interactions with fan bases for the most part, because my experience, I grew up with a lot of Rangers fans, and then outside of the games, like I wouldn't have interactions with these people in life, so it's not something I could really answer. Because I just don't have experience in it. Wolf Rock and Krungs, I never had the chance to get into the Pure Club, my friend. That sounds amazing. It's pretty amazing. I have to agree with Krungs. If you're looking for but again, if you absolutely love the glass seats, like I can't, I get that if that's your thing, but I do think, the Pier is pretty damn sick. Luke, I don't know, Ace, even as a kid in the 90s, I saw Devils in every barn they played in, and every year it grew. Devils being good for so long built up a national fan base. Too bad HBSE should own. McKinnon is a beast. Still pissed. Shatan wasn't a Devil at some point. 2027, he's 19 in Russia. It'll be 5 years minimum. Go Boro. Ace, who was your most heartbreaking, biggest disappointment Devils prospect and biggest surprise Devils prospect whole time you've been a fan? Oof. I'm going to have to consult the I'm trying to think. There was a ton over the years that I remember going to like training camps and stuff and being like, this guy's going to be awesome. I would have to say Tedenby was one of them just because he was a first rounder. He did play some games. He showed signs of like being good, but it just never came together. And then he just fizzled out. Teddenby is definitely one of them, I would say. Biggest surprise Devils prospect? It would have to be Bratter. It would have to be Bratter. He was picked in 2016 in the 6th round and then came here the following in 17-18 and looked pretty promising as a rookie. Bratter would have to be the biggest surprise. I don't think anyone expected him to become the guy he is today, point a game guy as a 6th round pick. I mean, if you look at the Devils' first round draft history, we're whiffing on first rounders left and right. Yo, Holmes, that's what I'm saying. Columbus on Tuesday, row 12 behind the net was $40 a pop. Yeah, if you wait, you could get some deals. Go Boro. I want Salive to materialize so much. He's the perfect fit for being a Devil. Guaranteed if he does, I'm buying his jersey in 2029. Very nice. Dennis. Oh, shit. I didn't even see it. Teddenby was supposed to be the Swedish Parisi. Kill me, never panned out. That's probably the biggest one for I just said that. Please don't say that name. Such high hopes for sure. Yo, Holmes, Teddenby and Josephson were the driveling shits who set this club back a decade. World's worst gamer for sure. I have 0 jerseys. Pain in the arse to wash and take care of. Also probably ended up with wing sauce or rib sauce all over them and ruin them. I mean, it's not that hard. Jack, have to eat things in moderation. I used to eat pounds of cold cuts before bed, among other things, not sustainable. Never eat a lot before bed either. Not good, for sure. Ace, which non-NJ Devils hockey guys would you have at your round table? Like if you had to pick 4 people and a few bottles of Dirty Devil vodka to drink and have a conversation with. Are you talking about players? Are you talking about players? I need clarification. What you're talking about. Steve Smith, Jack is in commercials and was on the cover of the game, kind of a superstar. No, Jack Hughes is definitely a superstar, for sure. Oh, my God. Why are you guys... Tonight's like ridiculous question night. Brad or Nico, if you could only pick one? Probably Nico, just because of his two-way play, but they're both great players. Jack, I'd say Jack is a superstar. I agree. Luke, got a call tonight. Good stuff, Ace. Any update on the bar show? Brat Pack pulled it off. So this group definitely can. Maybe an SST versus Ace intermission bout. Ace, you got a Niedermayer jersey. I have a game-worn jersey of Niedermayer's, not one that I wear, though. McCabe, McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, McCarr, Quinn, Kucherov. Not a ton of true superstars. I'm talking game breakers who can take over a game out of the blue. Steve Smith, superstars is kind of decided by marketing in a sense. That's what I was trying to say. For sure. It's not a real thing. It's like a contrived title, if you will. Wolf Rock and Ace, you forgot Brady Tkachuk, my friend, is best in the league at the moment. Brady Tkachuk, he's probably on the verge of being a superstar. Playing in a Canadian market doesn't help him in a weaker Canadian market. Obviously, on another team, he'd be a lot bigger, but I would say he's pretty close to being a superstar after that 4 Nations. Bonzo, 2 fans on the way home after Devils Jets killed in Tom's River by jerk eluding cops. GoFundMe, Armstrong, Fiore, Chapman families. I saw that. That's a terrible story. My heart goes out to the families. What a terrible story. I didn't see the whole thing. I just saw like the clip, like a short little thing about it. But apparently some psychos were driving, running from cops and hit and killed these kids. Absolutely terrible. Hopefully they go to jail forever. Jack, have you ever gotten into a fight at a game, either physical or verbal? Definitely not physical. Because here's the thing. I've said this before. Most of the people that start fights at games are like coward people that pick on people they think they could beat up anyway. And like I'm pretty big. I'm not like this huge person, but I'm 6 foot and like pretty like sizable. So for idiots looking to start fights, it's a deterrent because there's always somebody that looks like an easier target than myself, just by size. So I think that's probably helped me out in that regard. I don't even know if I've ever had like a real verbal one. No, somehow. I can't think of any really situations at games over the years. Will, say the Devils get eliminated. Who is your pick for winning the Cup? The team I want to win or the team I think will win? Roland Ace, the Devils can beat Washington, Columbus, Rangers, Habs, Sens in the playoffs. We'll have issues with Canes, Leafs, and the Florida teams. I think they could beat anybody if they're on their game and the goalie stands on his head, whether that's Allen or Markstrom or whoever. But I do agree that we match up better with the teams you said than Canes, Leafs, and the Florida teams for sure. But you have to look at some encouraging signs. We beat the Panthers twice on their home ice, and we've pretty much probably hovered around 500 against some of those other teams overall. Roland, Ace, in hindsight, trading a first-round pick and Ball for Markey may have been an oversight. Allen and Dawes can get the job done. We could have used Ball in the first to get top six help. Yeah, but the other thing is, would Jake Allen or Dawes be as good if they had to play the level of games Markstrom plays? That does make a difference. Workload makes a difference. So it's easy to say that now, but the reality is if they had to play the amount of games Markstrom plays, they might not look the same. Jack, Ace, is there anyone on the current roster who, if they won the Cup this year, would have their number retired if they retired after this year? No. There's no one on this roster that's even remotely close to getting their number retired. No, absolutely not. Agree on Brad. Brad is a 6th-round pick to a point per game guy. Tremendous. Yeah, absolutely. Go Boro. I don't know. Markey's a good reason why we are so high here. We'd have been overtaken by Rangers, Montreal, Columbus if it weren't for him. I agree. I think Markey's a game changer, and I love the guy. Jack, Ace, do you agree with the idea that if you're a fan, you shouldn't have a player's jersey if they are younger than you? So I don't judge other people for it. I've said countless times on this show, I personally find it weird for me myself, not other people, because I see tons of people older than me, in the arena wearing Hughes jerseys or Nico or Brad or whoever. For me, it's weird. I never really thought about it until I was a little bit older, and I see all these people wearing these jerseys, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel weird wearing a jersey of one of these children. Like at this point, I'm old enough to be a lot of their fathers, which is a completely mind-blowing in and of itself. But maybe if they won a cup, I would feel different. But yeah, I'll always be rocking my Marty jersey or Stevens, or I probably will add a Dano and maybe one or two others to the mix over time. Mike, still waiting for Ari Ohanen to be called up in net. So, him, Jean-Francois Damphousse. For some reason, the Devils seem to be obsessed with drafting goalies in the first round, like when Marty was in his prime, and I never understood why. And literally none of them ever panned out to be anything, which is crazy. Like, we wasted so many first-round picks on these guys. But I do remember thinking, like, Damphousse or Ohanen, like, might be the next guy. And, like, Marty was like, hold my beer. I'm not done. I'll be playing for another 15 years, which is crazy. Shout out to Marty with the longevity. Wolf, Ace, how amazing was it to be able to walk into South Mountain Arena and watch the practices? Missed those days, my friend. Oh, my God. Part of what made me a hardcore Rabid fan from childhood. I've never told the story in depth. Maybe one day I'll make a video about it. But long story short, I met Dano through a family member. He gave us tickets. Then I started going to games. Then I started watching every game on TV. And then I went to South Mountain practices. And that was it. I was hooked. And going to South Mountain and all of that played an integral role in the whole thing of me becoming like a super rabid fan. Go Boro. People outside of hockey. So then nothing to do with hockey? That's what I'm trying to. You said people outside of hockey or hockey people not associated with NJD in any way. I mean, if we're talking about people outside of hockey, then I would just say, like, I don't know. People that have nothing to do with hockey. So what are we talking about, like media personalities? I'd have to think about that. If we're talking about nothing to do with hockey, then that could go a million different ways. Reed Boucher broke the OHL goal record. Yeah, people were super hyped on Reed Boucher as well. Roland, will you be willing to pay Nico 8 times 11 in a few years? 8 years, $11 million. I mean, that's probably what he's going to get. Yeah, I mean, that's, with the cap going up, that's what it's going to probably be. I mean, you don't have a choice. You have to pay him. Mike K, what would you say is the most memorable playoff loss ever? 97 wraparound was similar to 94. Also, that Penguins 2-0. I mean, there's a lot of them. Obviously, 1994 Game 7 Mateau, a very memorable and terrible one. 2000 Stanley Cup Finals Game 5 triple overtime. I was at that one live. 1-0 loss. Marty had like 40 saves and Belfour had like 48. Badano tipped it in triple overtime. They win 1-0. It was like 1:15 in the morning. Devastating loss. Game 6 and 7 lost in the 2001 Cup Finals to the Avalanche. I'll never forget. The Game 7 meltdown against Carolina in 2009 was super painful. Yeah, getting knocked out by the Rangers in 97. I mean, that one sucked. Those are ones all those I'll never forget. Roland Shiro wanted Makar in 2017, but ownership overruled him. That is a true story that really affected our rebuild. Yeah, but in the end, I mean, Nico is not Nico's a great player in his own right. I don't know, I could make the argument for both in terms of like on a specific team, but Timo is our Claude Lemieux. He's certainly the closest thing we've had to him in a while. Why was Nemitz in the lineup tonight? Because they probably didn't like Cholowski's last game, so like, let's give the kid another game. World's worst gamer. To me, Sean Burke was one of, if not the most disappointing prospects ever. After he almost led the Devils to the Cup Finals in 87-88, he was very meh and out the door to Hartford of all places. Before my time, Wolf Rockin got in one physical fight at a Devils playoff game in 99. Was it against a Senators fan? Or was it against another Devils fan? Go Boro, team I'd want to win the Cup if we're out Winnipeg. Team I think is winning the Cup, Florida or Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, they're both very good teams. Jay Snow, I think Markey is working his way back from injury. I agree. Is my mic cutting out? No one else seems to. Maybe your speakers are cutting out. World's worst gamer. I'll take playing the Leafs any day. Absolute chokers. Wouldn't that be some story for Sheldon Keefe? Traveling Devil. I'm going with Edmonton again. I want McDavid to win a cup if the Devils don't. Yeah, me more so. I'm going with Adam. If the Devils are out, Adam Henrique, obviously former Devil, longtime Devil, great soldier. Would love to see Henrique get a cup. It's unfortunate he couldn't get one here with the Devils, and I do like McDavid, so Edmonton would be my pick as well, or the team that I would hope. Larry Blumenfield. Everyone is so high on Dawes in his limited time, yet he's the same guy that lost his first 8 games in Utica this season. I see both sides of this coin. In the end, I do put more stock into his NHL games because this is what you're hoping he is, an NHL player, right? Even Yegorov, a guy that I think is going to be the future franchise goalie for the Devils long-term in a few years, he struggled in a lower league as well because the team he played on sucked. It's hard to really gauge a goalie if he's playing on a shit team. Yegorov was on the USHL, the Omaha Lancers, and they sucked. I think they lost like 20-something games in a row. And Yegorov had decent numbers despite the team being horrible. I think he had like 60-something saves in a game. And so Utica was very bad early on in the year, very bad defensively. And so it's hard for me to really judge, especially a goalie based on that in the minors. And when he came over to the NHL, we saw what he could do. Now, it is a small sample space, but I put more stock into his NHL starts than his AHL starts. But, some people like to look at the minor league stuff and whatever. Dave, smash the like. Love your streams. Let's go Devils. Thanks, Dave. Hit the thumbs up for your boy. I don't know how many we have, but it's probably not enough. That's what most people say. Jay Snow, I know Dawes has played limited time, but Utica's cheeks. Jay Snow, can you imagine we're actually going for the 4-gamer? Oh, man. I would love to see it. Devils just gave up on Stillman. It just seemed like he wasn't going to be the guy they thought he was going to be. Is Chase Stillman good? I'm going to say no. He didn't really do anything in the AHL. And, you know, we saw lots of guys get called up this year, and Chase Stillman couldn't get a call up. And so I kind of figured it was done. Mike K, you get food at the games. What's the move at the Rock these days? The move at the Rock these days is to go to get tickets in one of the lounges or suites that have free food and just stuff your face. Try a little bit of everything. That's my move. The food costs so much money if you buy it out of the cart. You might as well just pony up for the good ticket and stuff your face. That's my move, Mike K. Traveling, I'm going to laugh if VTech wins with the Panthers. Why isn't Sprong playing over Tatar? Ask the analytics department. I don't know. SJ says, I think Shiro wanted Makar. And Snow says Stillman was another bust. All right, you guys know what time it is. It's bathroom time. I'm taking my bathroom break. Be back in 2 minutes. We'll start winding this down. Throw out your comments, questions, whatever it is you got. Throw it out there. Suggestions. I always like the suggestions. I'm always interested to see what you guys have to say in that department of things you might want to see or whatever. Always open. The suggestion box is always open. Not saying I'm going to do them all, but I do like to hear questions, comments, concerns, whatever. Throw it out there. Back in 2 minutes. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we're back. Whoa. All right, let's find our spot. Johan Stillman is not good. We'll be playing in the Swedish D-League in no time. Kind of seems like he might be overseas somewhere. Mike, hey, you mean Fire and Ice Lounge? You need to get the center ice seats for that, right? So there's a million different places that include food. There's the Pier Club. There's the Prudential Lounge. The old, what you're referring to as Fire and Ice Lounge is now something else. It's like the Hyundai Lounge, and I forget the one on the other side. But it's essentially the newer version of the Fire and Ice Lounge, yeah. There's a bunch of lounges that all include food. That would be the way to go, in my opinion. Food play at the Rock. Don't get any. Hit JJ's hot dogs on Bloomfield Ave after the game. I'm not mad at that either, yo, Holmes. I always like a little dirty water dog. Ace, I got told off for saying Taylor ham over pork roll. Was it justified? I'm a Taylor ham guy for life. Yeah, Taylor ham. It's not even debatable. Mike K, I was at the Rock a few years ago. Most of the vendors were closed. Hopefully it's better now. I'll be honest. I've been in the clubs, or one of the clubs, I think, for all the games. I haven't really ventured out into the concourse in a while. Roland Ace, I suggest you check up on Matthias Malofsky. Apparently the Devils have another Jesperbratt coming up with the system. Take a look at the highlights and stats. Malofsky? Let me tab that. All right, I'll check him out. I have that tab open. Yeah, basically most of North Jersey says Taylor ham, and then Central and South Jersey say pork roll because they're confused. And those clowns eat scrapple, so. Roland, is Sheldon Keefe the best Devils coach in the last decade? Yeah, you're talking about like as the Devils coach or like historically? Yeah, Lindy would probably be. Roland, Ace, can you show us the mask on the bottom shelf? Yeah. Yes, I can. Hold on, I gotta move this because I have a little table here and there's this stupid door. So this is a Peter Sidorkowitz. This was his Albany River Rats mask. You see it has Albany on the chin cup, and you got the little rat, like the gloves on the side. You see like his gloves on each side. I'm trying to get this in the camera there with like, I guess it's like breaking ice, and then there's like the rat head. The back has Sid. Always loved the River Rats. My favorite Albany River Rats, my favorite Devils AHL affiliate of all time. They won the Calder Cup in 95, the same year the Devils won the Stanley Cup. And this was Peter Sidorkowitz's, and he actually wore it in one period of a New Jersey Devils game. Hold on, let me just put this back. Ugh. Yeah, I forget all the details around it. I think Marty was sick or something, and I think it was Mike Dunham got a start and then got pulled after 2 periods, and Sidorkowitz went into the 3rd period. And yeah, that mask was worn in it. There's a picture of him playing in the Devils game with the mask. Wolf, I'll email you about the tickets. Thanks so much. See you on a Saturday night. We finally get 4 in a row over 2 years. Good night, brother. Let's go Devils. Oh, I certainly hope so. Go Boro. Ace, which Devil would you be most scared of staring at you from the other side of your room while you sleep? Curtis McDermott, the toughest man in the National. Ovechkin definitely gets the record. Whether it's this year or next year remains to be seen. I think he probably does get it this year. I think Ovi gets it. He'll be assisted by some 4th liner. Peter DeBoer, I think he was just outside of a decade ago. What was his last year here? Super close. Yeah, he would be right inside 14-15. So he'd be in the conversation. Go Boro on that 4th liner. And that 4th liner guy gets the bag the rest of the career for being the guy who assisted the goal. Will be a pretty cool thing to be, for sure. Mike K, best coaches ever were Jacques, Robinson, and then DeBoer. Dimitri, hello, Ace. I appreciate you and all the hard work you put in to make this podcast. Huge win tonight. I thought that Allen made some huge saves. When talent is out, the team has to play for each other. Absolutely, man. Thanks for the kind words. Thank you for watching. Allen was a beast, as he's been all year. The Devils finally, gave him goal support enough to win. 3 goals is still not a ton, but it was 1 more than they scored, and that's all we needed. That mask is wild. Yeah, I like it. It's one of my favorites. Bonzo, I remember when goalies didn't wear masks. Oh, my God. What a time to be alive. When goalies weren't wearing masks, what crazy people, right? How much of a nut job do you have to be? Go Boro Ace. Who's your favorite defunct franchise? Are you talking NHL? NHL franchise or what? All hockey? I mean, Albany, just because I'm a huge Devils fan, Albany River Rats would be one of them. And then probably Hartford Whalers, I guess. Very historic. Wolf Rock and love the River Rats name. I wish they'd bring it back. Yeah, I wish that'd be nice if our, AHL team, but, they had so many over the years. It was Albany River Rats, and we had Lowell Devils, and we had Lowell Devils, and I think Albany Devils, Binghamton Devils. I might be messing up the order, but yeah. Binghamton Devils, Albany Devils, Lowell Devils, and then they bought, or however they got the agreement with Utica Comets, which used to be Vancouver's. They took that over. Now the Utica Comets are their AHL team. Oh, the Nordiques. That's a good call, Dimitri. He said all hockey. Whalers and the Brass Bonanza. What is the Brass Bonanza, Yo Holmes? Dimitri, Nordiques is a solid one as well for a defunct franchise. What names? They've had some legends over the years, too, that played for them. Matt Sundin, Joe Sakic, Peter Forsberg. Oh, Brass Bonanza is the goal song. Okay. I know Brass Bonanza from, is it Pissing Tree or whatever that channel is called? The one that made the big Leafs takedown video? I'm going to have to, man, after all these, I have so many tabs. Brass Bonanza. I'm going to have to put that in a tab, too. World's Worst Gamer says, go Whalers. Jack, I was watching the early 2010 Bruins highlights. Talk about a heavier, edgier, more violent team right there. Great games and fights with Montreal and Vancouver. Yeah, you're talking about like Lucic and those guys. They had some dogs. Who the hell was the other guy that I liked? They had another gritty dude. Not Lucic. He was like a fourth liner. Oh my God, it's going to kill me. I don't want to look it up. Oh my God. I could picture his face, too. I'm going to have to look it up. Sean Thornton. Animal. Yeah, Marshawn, Lucic, Thornton, Campbell, Horton. Phew, that's a squad. Go Boro. Ace, you have your 4 Devils bar fighting team. Your final boss is a portal from an alternate universe. Opens up and running with the Rangers comes out with his 4. What's the first move you do to them? Oh, boy. Kicking the nuts. Troy Crowder for the Devils is a super heavyweight scrapper. Yeah, I've seen some video. Before my time, I became a fan of 94. I've seen some Troy Crowder footage, though, and he definitely looked like a beauty. Roland 95. Ace, if we face Toronto in the first round somehow and it's a game 7 in Toronto, are tickets to that game worth the price of admission? I feel like that's a ridiculous price for just one game. I mean, I'm trying to think. It's hard for me to predict. I'd imagine the cheapest seat would probably be like what, 700 or 800 Canadian, I'd imagine, for like a nosebleed for the game 7. I mean, I would say if you have the money, it's probably worth it. Dave, River Rats are why I started loving hockey. I lived about 20 minutes from where they played. Very nice. Was that the Knickerbocker Arena, right, Dave? Most underrated Devil ever was Brian Rafalski. He's definitely amongst them for sure. I agree. Roland, Ace, you ever seen a clip of Alex Hemsky's empty net goal versus Dallas? That clip reminds me every time Palat has the puck with the open net. Is that the one where he missed and then they went down and scored? Go Boro, expect to pay quad digits for a ticket to that game in Toronto. The building will be full of corporate suits. All the noise will be outside. Dimitri, of all teams, Toronto is skilled, but that franchise is cursed. I agree. Go Boro. Messier. Definitely Messier. Mike K, Devils playoffs will probably be expensive. Haven't decided if I'm going to go. If they go to the playoffs, I definitely have to go. It's just been too long. It's been too long of a drought. I need to see Devils playoff hockey live, and I'll be there for sure. A Game 7 in Toronto against Keefe would be bankers price-wise. If it's a Game 7, we need McDermott with 1 goal, destroy Matthews. Well, you guys are nuts. All right. That's it. I'm done. I'm fading out here. Damn, these things are getting long. Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate all of you. Your New Jersey Devils come up with a massive 2 points tonight, beating the Oilers by a score of 3-2 at the Rock, overcoming a 2-1 deficit in the third period. 3 different goal scorers, 2 from the blue line, Brett Pesce and Shimo Nemitz, which was ultimately the game winner. Jesperbratt, tit-a-tat, where my boy at, getting a goal and 2 assists on the evening for another 3-point night. And wow, what a night to be a Devils fan, guys. 3 in a row. We're going for 4 in a row on Tuesday. The oh-so-elusive 4 in a row. It hasn't happened in 26 calendar months. My God. What are the odds of that? 26 calendar months is completely insane. Completely insane. But Saturday afternoon, another massive one. They're just getting huge. Every game is the new game of the season. Love to see the Blue Jackets lose tonight, and we just got to keep hoping we win and they lose. And just keep it going. Just keep this thing going. I am jacked up. If you're newer to the channel, check out some of the videos that have come out. I just put a vlog from the last game up, the Blue Jackets game. I'll probably have a vlog from tonight's, or I guess now it's technically last night's game. Will go up either tomorrow or the following day. But yeah, if you're into player interviews, hit the interview playlist on the channel. Some cool stuff on there. Some new ones coming out soon. I just got behind a little bit. I got to get back on my video editing grind here. But that's it, guys. The march continues. The New Jersey Devils have found a new identity and have won 3 games in a row. Looking for that elusive 4th in Pittsburgh. Hopefully they get it. I'm super pumped for that. Saturday afternoon game should be a great one. I'll probably be on with a pregame for that one as well. Probably a pregame and a postgame for that one. But this is the drive, guys. The pre-playoffs. Gotta love it. New Jersey Devils hockey. Thanks all for joining. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. Would appreciate that. Check out some of the other videos. Hit the thumbs up on those as well. And that's it, guys. I'll be back soon. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.